Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Number 1 Ohio State heads to Seattle today in advance of Saturday's matchup against 3-0 Washington. It'll be a 3:30 kick from Husky Stadium. Washington's won their last 20 home games. That's the second longest streak in the country. Hear from Ohio State's head coach today at noon on the Ryan Day radio show. In the NFL, Week 4 begins tonight in Arizona. The Cardinals host the Seahawks at 8:15. You can hear that game on the Fan following the Buckeyes show. In baseball last night, the Guardians beat the Tigers 5-1. Cleveland leads Detroit by 1 game for the top spot in the AL Central. Guardians can clinch a playoff spot tonight if they beat the Tigers, and then the Astros beat the Athletics. The Reds lost their second straight last night. Cincinnati fell to Pittsburgh 4-3 in 11. Redlegs look to avoid the sweep at 12:40 today. You can hear that game on the Fan, too. That's 1460 on the AM dial. This update sponsored by Behind the O. Buckeye fans, Behind the O is now in the App Store, free for fans, NIL for athletes. Download Behind the O in the App Store today.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a Thursday edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next 3. Dave Shedloski of Golf Digest going to join us on the Ryder Cup coming up at 9:45. I'm getting a little juice for that. I'm going to be excited tomorrow morning when that thing kicks off out at Bethpage Black. 10 o'clock, we open up the mailbag. Another full mailbag to peruse coming up at 10 o'clock. Paul Finebaum going to drop by at 10:30. 11 o'clock, we attempt to beat the house. Went pretty well and has been going pretty well so far. 11:30, great friend of the program. He is the play-by-play voice of UW. Tony Castricone. He is a fan alumnus as well. So always good to catch up with Tone, and he will join us at 11:30. Are you guys snoozers? Do you hit the snooze?
I have a couple alarms just so I can snooze.
Yeah. Oh, you enjoy the snooze. Bake, are you a snoozer?
Yeah, I'm a snoozer. I've tried to cut it down to just 1, maybe 2, but I am a snoozer.
So I'm the outlier here. I am not a snoozer. I find that the snooze makes me almost more tired. And it just delays the inevitable by 8 minutes. My snooze is like, if I hit it, it's 8 minutes is what it amounts to, 8 or 9. And so for me, it's like alarm hits, pop up, let's go. You've had good sleep, let's go. And it's funny as I've gotten old, how much I am locked into a routine. I used to mock my father for this about lights. I mean, he was lights out 10 o'clock every single night, lights out, no news, nothing, 10 o'clock out. Which seems crazy. Like NBC goes to bed at 10 o'clock. He's 13. My dad would go to bed at 10 o'clock every single night of his life. But I've become that. So it's time to get up. The alarm goes and away we go. My wife is like you guys. Big snoozer. And what she wants to do is maximize. She feels that she gets value by maximizing the amount of sleep she gets at the end of her sleep. Now, the cost to that is that her responsibilities in the morning are to awaken the 2 children, the 2 older children, and get them moving on a way to school. And then I take them to school. Okay? I take them. But her role is critical. The getting up and the getting ready, you got to get that locked in. So apparently she went to bed pretty early last night. I always go to bed at 11. She went to bed about 10 o'clock. And so I get up when I normally do. I pop up, away I go. There's been a point of contention in the house because sometimes I'll go in and go, I think she can like hear my footsteps. And as I approach, I will say, she'll be like, I know. Like, because I'll go in, I'm like, it's 6:45. We want to be pushing out of here at 7:25 at the latest. Takes 13 minutes to get to school minimum. I don't want it to be much more than that. I don't need tardy bells because if they get tardy, I got to go in and sign in. for them. I got to go sign in and say they're tardy because of me, because we're the idiots who couldn't time this out right to get these kids here on time. So the final bell rings at 7:49. If you're not in the doors lock at 7:49, can't get in past then. And so this is kind of the time frame we're on. So this morning, I get up when I normally do, pop up, doing my stuff. It's quiet for a long time. And so I go in and I don't go in the first time because I've learned my lesson. I don't need to fight with my wife early in the morning every morning. So okay, fine. So it's now like 6:50. And I'm doing the math in my head. That's 35 minutes. Get up, eat, shower, ready for school, out the door in 35 minutes. That's tight. That's a tight window for a 13-year-old. It's a very tight window. So I go in there, and she goes, I know. And I go, okay, I'm just, you got 35 minutes. So time, tick, 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 tick. She's still not out. It's driving me nuts. Like I want to just, we got to go. And then, but I don't. So 7 o'clock comes, and they're finally coming down the stairs. And I'm watching the clock, and I'm like, this is not going to work. It's not going to work. So sure enough, we get in the car, 7:30, 5 minutes later than we're supposed to allot for the time it gets to get there and so forth and so on. We're driving into town to take them into school, and I see a car parked in the lane of a 2-lane road. It's really the only way. There's a car parked in the lane with the flashers on, and the woman is standing outside the car. There does not appear to be an accident. There does not appear to be a flat tire. Maybe the car just blew up. The driver was literally 10 yards from being able to pull into a pizza joint and just be able to let traffic flow. No, stopped, middle of it. So I got to MacGyver this thing now. I got to go back roads. So I'm busting through back roads, get him in there. We pull in with, I'm not kidding you, 30 seconds to spare from the late tardy bell. 30 seconds, no more than. Pull in. Beamsy's in full panic. NBC, it's just tardy, who cares? Beamsy's Abraham Lincoln. Never does anything wrong. Dad, what happens if I get a tardy? Do I get in trouble? Is it a mark? Is it demarcation? Is it going to hurt my grades? NBC's like, it's just a tardy, no big deal. They just signed something, then it's fine. So pull them in. They jump out. They get in. Everything's okay. They get in. Doors are open. So I get home, and I say to my wife, I swear to God, this is the tone. Hey, honey, let's just give a few more minutes in the morning, because that added a lot of stress to me and to them cutting it that close. Her response, well, you get them up if you want to. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll handle it. I'll get them up going forward. I'll get them up. It's fine. I've just never understood the notion of the value of those extra 5 minutes. And I think it's probably my hunch. I have no scientific data to back this up. None. But my hunch is that the damage done to the stress levels is at a greater cost than the benefit of the extra 5 minutes. That's my hunch.
It's funny. I actually told myself this morning, I'm like, Eric, you got to stop doing this bleep. Because I agree with you.
Stop it.
And
it's not worth it.
I'm surprised, and maybe this is something you might save in the back of your pocket. Just be like, honey, if you snooze, they say you lose.
Dude.
And then just walk.
Dude, run.
She might be throwing something.
Honey, I've read about this before, but if you snooze.
Bo, it's funny while you were talking about that. I was like, I know myself. And I would just go do it. I would just go get them up. Like, if it's going to add stress to me, I know me. I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I will say this, like, I'm a snoozer, but I try not to do that to myself. Like, if I know, like, getting up in the morning, the latest I can be in the shower is at 6:30 to get here when I want to. Like, my alarm is set for 5:45.
Yeah,
and then I'll snooze it for a half hour, so I got plenty of time or whatnot.
Baker, a half hour snoozer?
Well, if I have to,
We got to gotta stop that.
I set 4 alarms every day anyway.
So
really? Yeah. So like if my normal time to wake up is like 6 o'clock, I've got like 5:45, 5:57, 6:12, 6:24, all of them just in case. So
6:12. What are you doing? Radio?
It just somehow happened that way years ago, and I've just kept them. The 57 is a radio thing, though.
Well, Reese is right. Reese, you're exactly right on this, because this is, for the majority of my professional life, this has been my profession. And whether it was this or television, AR and I used to talk about this all the time. The light goes red at the same time every day. You can't be late. You can't. He and I used to talk about this all the time. The amount of times I've had the nightmare, and it's usually TV related, of sprinting to the set, either ill prepared or scripts not written in those days, or tie untied. Like I've had that nightmare 1,000 times in my life of just sprinting on a set to try to get on air. So maybe that's part of it, in that this is what I've done the majority of life. Of like, the red light's on, you got to be ready. Maybe that's it. And yes, what I probably would say, now today I didn't say that. In this scenario, when you get you could always just get them up. When you get that, at that point, you just walk away, because you're not going to ignite that log of dynamite. That ain't worth it. You just, okay. But I think I'm going to have to, because I just can't imagine that there's the benefit to it. I've never been a snooze guy. I'm always just go.
John in the YouTube chat says, I'm listening to my life right here. He says, it's going to cause a fight when you wake the kids up, Bo. And he says,
he's right.
He says, been there, done that.
He's 100% right. He knows if I go wake them up tomorrow and they're up before her, then it's going to come on me.
Listen, I'll take the fight if it makes everything less stressful for you and the boys in the morning. I would take that fight.
Dude, I broke every traffic law you can break to get kids to middle school on time.
In the rain, daggone it.
I'm in the rain, blowing through stop signs. I'm not even, yellow is green. Red's green. Come on, keep going. Jeez. Crazy.
I will say this. If you're running late in that situation, your adrenaline's up, and so you don't feel like you need coffee.
Well, funny you bring that up. Because guess who didn't degrease the cappuccino machine? Last 2 days. Remember, I've had this issue before. She won't degrease it. So instead, she'll just go buy coffee until I degrease it. So when I get done with it's so funny you say this. I swear to God, I'm drinking cold coffee today. Cold brew. Because we didn't get it degreased, apparently, this morning.
Well, you didn't do that.
You could always degrease it. I will. I'm going to do it in a break. All right. We got a little bit of Apex Sports, and baseball's having a moment. Fun program for you today. Lots to get to. A lot of fun guests along the way. But baseball having a little moment right now. We'll get into that coming up next. We're off and running on a Thursday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
When it comes to trucks,
Toyota gives you the power of choice. Now through September 30th, get 1.75 APR financing or $3,000 customer cash on a powerful new 25 Tundra. Excludes TRD Pro. Or you can lease a 25 Tundra SR Crewmax for $409 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
College is great. You know what else is great? Pizza, which you can buy with your Huntington Bank debit card with the Ohio State University logo. Huntington Bank is proud to be the official consumer bank of the Ohio State University. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome.
When we started the company, I was absolutely going to build my own plant. We can build a very, very good window and sell it at a reasonable price. If you buy from a company that is a dealer, they have to order the part from the factory, have it sent, and then schedule a service. I got 500 locks out back. If you need a lock, it'll take me 15 seconds to walk back here and grab one for you.
Visit our showroom today at 4200 Roberts Road.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, lease 2 Elantras for $222. That's right, lease 2 new 2025 Elantra SEs for just $222 a month for a 2-year lease. Both your new Elantras come with owner assurance and America's Best Warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. In Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.99 down per unit plus taxes fees. First month payment, 10K miles per year, ends 9/30.
T-Bone and Tybus.
Snitches get stitches, but they do tend to stay out of jail. That's what I know.
You know, they say, why do 10 when you can tell on a friend?
T-Bone and Tybus Mornings on the Fan is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Fraud in government is a crime, and it robs taxpayer dollars. I'm Ohio Auditor of State Keith Faber, and my job is to catch people that lie, cheat, and steal, report suspicious behavior, and help stop fraud. Learn the red flags, speak up, and protect your tax dollars by calling 1-866-FRAUD-OH.
Got a teen athlete? Then you know putting in the hours is all part of the game. But did you know the same goes for learning how to drive? Because just like playing a sport, learning to drive takes practice. The only difference is the stakes are even higher. 50 hours of practice time driving with you? Worth every minute. Gear up at teachyourteentodrive.ohio.gov.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Chances of rain becoming a little bit more isolated going into the day today. Otherwise expected to be partly to mostly cloudy with highs in the upper 70s. For tonight, turning partly cloudy overnight and cooler with our lows in the 50s. And then we end the work week with a little bit more sunshine and much drier weather. Daytime highs will top out in the upper 70s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Tinny.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan. When General Sherman marched through Georgia, he was listening to this show.
Use your skills for good, young warrior.
This is Bishop and Friends.
And the Capital Florida Columbus High School football game of the week takes us to Hilliard Friday night. 4-1 Davidson battling undefeated Orange. Coverage starts 6:30, kickoff at 7. After the game, Byers, Subaru Dublin's overtime with Bacon Lee. Friday nights are for high school football on the Fan. That's a good one. You got any other good ones for tomorrow night, Bake?
The probably best Central Ohio rivalry, Watterson and DeSales, is tomorrow night. That's always a big one. And kind of a sneaky good one, Grandview versus Linden McKinley, both of them undefeated. Could be a pretty nice one. Grandview is a team a lot of people think has a shot at going really far this year in D6.
They're always well coached. Yeah,
very.
That's nice. Very good. Man, imagine being Coach Day. Like you want to watch your kid play quarterback and you're in Seattle with your team.
Yeah.
That's a monster game. That's one of the there's many benefits. They outweigh the negatives, but that'd be a negative there.
I'm sure somebody will be sending him a live stream.
Yeah,
he'll be all right.
I'm sure that he will. Wolfman Matt on social. This is for you two out there. This is on point. We were talking about the snooze with the wife in the morning and just waking the kids up, and this tweet nails it. Have to keep in mind, if you go over the wife's head and wake up the kids, you've opened up a Pandora's box for her to unilaterally make decisions the other way down the line. Marriage is a long game of chess. It really is. It really is. It really is. And I have to consistently ignore the little devil on my right shoulder that just says, I don't know, press this maybe. Press this. Maybe pick at this scab a little more and see what happens. Reese, are your guards ever going to lose?
Doesn't feel like it. Tell you what, it's now -2, their run differential. So if you can get the next 4 games, you just win those, you're going to be in the plus category when it comes down to the end of the season.
They are going to be, because they're not going to lose. What is the team... as we were thinking about this stretch, I think the most impressive thing about all of this for them is the 10.5 back or whatever it was, September 1, and now they're a game up and they have the tiebreaker. They're obviously going to win the division. I don't know if they'll lose the rest of the season, quite honestly. There was was it a Colorado Rockies team that kind of came from nowhere? Matt Holliday was on the team, I would say about 15 years ago, maybe more. They kind of came out of nowhere, and they didn't lose in September, and they didn't win the World Series, but they think they got all the way there. Do I have that
07
right?
Rockies?
Give me the stats on that. Did they get all the way to the World Series?
They were the NL champions. 90-73 was their record following a 76-86 season. They had I forget, they might have been -20 in the run differential. It was like them and like the 87 Padres, maybe 05 Padres, I think, had like -43, and they won the NL West.
Okay. All right. It's 07. I just pulled it up. All right. The 07 Colorado Rockies finished second in the West, but they had, okay, I do have this right. They had a 76-72 record on September 16th. The Rockies won 14 of their final 15 games to win the wild card, including a 9-8 13-inning victory over the Padres in a 1-game playoff. They swept their first 7-game playoff series to win the NL pennant, and then they got all the way to the World Series in 07. So that's the thing about all of this, is that when you have the Red Sox ended up winning the World Series, but they got all the way there. There is something to this, and when I talk to people who follow this all the time, such as yourself, Reese, the one thing that people say that's different about this Guards team versus maybe some other ones that have done this is the way they're playing right now. That they're right. There's usually this crest happens maybe earlier in September when they make these runs. This one late into September gives you hope that maybe they just won't lose again.
Yeah, this usually feels like a late August, right? Early September, and then it's kind of stumbling through the final full month of the season, and then you go, well, at least they're in the postseason. Has felt the way a lot of years, or holy bleep, they won the Central. All right, let's see how this goes. But the way this team has been playing against pretty sizable competition, and the way they're pitching, I think that's been the biggest thing for me watching this team, is that when you have when you have a rotation that's played as well as this Guardians rotation has, you don't have to tax your bullpen, and that's going to do, whoever wins, I think the American League at least, is going to have to rely on starting pitching to not tax their bullpen late so they can make it to the World Series. And who knows? You get in, and I think you've got a pitcher, you've got a puncher's chance, I should say.
And Reese, you talk about the pitching with the Guards, and you have to have pitching, right? In baseball, you've got to have some pitching to win. But
sure.
We always kind of thought their pitching would be okay, and it's kind of crazy that their pitching has been better with 2 of their maybe better pitchers out. Like, they've kind of seemed to have hit a stride with Clase and Ortiz out. I think the crazy thing is the stat you brought up yesterday, that they're like 4th in baseball here in the last month in runs scored and all of that. Like, that's the thing you weren't sure with the Guardians heading into the season. When you headed into this year, I think you thought, well, we think the pitching's going to be good enough. Who's going to hit outside of Jose Ramirez and Steven Kwan? Who's going to be the bopper? And Stephen Vogt has seemed to figure out some kind of lineup configuration here that just works, and maybe it's just as simple as playing Kyle Manzardo all the damn time, but it's clicking right now.
Exasperated Reese.
I mean, there are a lot of things that you say year in and year out with this team. It's like, I just wish they could pitch better. Why can't they call up their young guys?
Yeah.
And when they do, it culminates in things like this. Now, this will be really fun, I think, to look back on in a couple of years. Less so for the Detroit Tigers because of the historic collapse by the Motor City Kitties. But you leave the door open, Detroit does, through these last 2 months of the season, but you still have to push through it. Yeah. And that's what's been so impressive for me about the Guardians, and just all together now move into the playoffs. And so there's 4 left to play. They've got 6:40 tonight, the final game of the season, the regular season against the Tigers. They'll probably match up in the wild card. But yeah, you were talking, Bake, about the runs batted in the month of September. There are only 3 teams better than the Cleveland Club, and that's been the Yankees, the Phillies, and the Mariners, who all 3 have NL and AL MVP candidates, and all three teams who had 3 players make baseball history last night. Ladies love the long ball. Well, the big dumper, Kyle Schwarber and Aaron Judge, made history in Major League Baseball last night by doing just that.
Yeah, go ahead. Give them a little bit of the history that's going on here.
First time 3 players with 50-plus home runs at the end of the day had multi-home run games in the same day. So you had the big dumper for Seattle hit 59 and 60. Kyle Schwarber for the Phillies hit 55 and 56. And then Judge for the Yankees had 50 and 51 on the season. All 3 of those having those games yesterday.
That's incredible.
Cal Raleigh with 60 home runs.
As a catcher.
My whole life, most of my life, as a kid, my whole youth, 60 home runs, no one got near it. So that was this mythical number, and then the 90s happened, and away we go, and then it's obliterated. But I still look at 60 and just go, God, that's crazy to see that up there.
You add in Shohei Ohtani and the 53 home runs he's hit, and not since 2001 have 4 players hit 50 in the same season.
I believe they said Raleigh's just the 7th ever to hit 60 in a season now, and Aaron Judge is like a cheat code. Like Shohei Ohtani, if Shohei Ohtani wasn't what he is, like Aaron Judge would be probably the unquestioned best player in baseball. And this dude is 4 50 home run seasons now, joining Babe Ruth, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa is the only to ever do that. 4 50 home run seasons.
Are the guys, the 7 with 60, Ruth, Maris, Sosa, Bonds, McGuire, Raleigh, and Judge? That's what I just wrote down off the top of my head.
I believe so.
That would seem to be it. I'm not missing anybody, am I? It's got to be those 7. Because Judge just did it. It was a big deal when he did it with the Yankees a couple of years ago.
So you've got Bonds with 73, McGuire 70, Sosa 66, McGuire again, Sosa again, Judge, Maris, Ruth.
Yeah, and that's it then.
It's funny, as you were throwing that out there, I was looking up the AL and NL MVP odds. So Raleigh is the leader, or has the best odds in the American League at minus 210, Judge plus 170. If you go over the NL, Shohei Ohtani's minus 50,000. Schwarber and Soto are behind him. Schwarber's plus 1,600, Soto's plus 8,000.
Raleigh would be the third. Is there 4 Mariners who've won the MVP? Junior Griffey, A-Rod.
He'd be the
Edgar
fourth.
Martinez win it?
I don't know if Edgar did or not.
One other thing while we're looking that up. Well, it's like baseball reference today, kids. We're giving you a lot of baseball. Paul Skeens, this is nuts. 1.97 ERA for the season. He's 10-10 on the year because he's with the Pirates, obviously. But 1.97 ERA. In recent years, the only people that have been close to that, Jacob deGrom had 1.70 in 2018, and then Trevor Bauer in 2020 in the COVID year ended up 1.73. Reds have lost 2 in a row, by the way.
Bo, he would be the 3rd Mariner to win the MVP. Griffey Jr. and Ichiro Suzuki. A-Rod never did it with the Mariners.
Really? I would have had that. I forgot about Ichiro. That's a bad job out of me. I will not forget about the Buckeyes. They are wheels up to Seattle for their first road trip of the season. How do you prepare for that? Quite honestly, in an NFL sort of way. We'll describe that in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Save a good deal more during the Meijer Dollar Deal Sale, September 24th through the 30th. Shop the entire store and choose from hundreds of items, all $1 each. Fill your basket with favorites like Dole Garden Salad, select varieties of Meijer pasta and pasta sauce, and Meijer facial tissue or Meijer essential paper towels. The Meijer Dollar Deal Sale. That's the good life, a good deal better. And don't forget to stop by the Meijer Pharmacy for your flu shot. Available today while you shop. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com for details.
Listen up.
That's the sound of big money.
ABC Friday, Celebrity Wheel of Fortune is back.
Yes, that's it.
With big stars from the silver screen to the dance floor.
Tarek Huff. Actor Katie Lowes is here. Joey McIntyre.
Big thrills.
These stars are in it to win it.
And big fun.
Keep your shirt on. I'm out.
Ryan Seacrest and Vanna White host Celebrity Wheel of Fortune.
Tomorrow night, starting at 8 on ABC 6.
Good morning, Columbus. It's going to be a good day, and it's going to be big. With the biggest morning news team in Central Ohio, Good Day Columbus. The biggest news, weather, and traffic in town every day. Bringing you over 5 hours of breaking news, live reports, and continuing coverage, and stories that'll make you smile. First Warning Weather gets you ready for the day ahead, and Steer Clear Team Traffic will get you to work on time. Good Day Columbus, weekday mornings on ABC 6. It's going to be a good day.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 9/30. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a Thursday edition of the program. The Buckeyes are wheels up today out to Seattle, out to the West Coast for their Saturday afternoon tilt against UW. This is a different path from what they did last year when they went out to Oregon. Last year on the trip to Oregon, they flew on Friday. I think there's probably two factors that go into the decision to fly out there now from the Ohio State perspective, or today rather for the Ohio State perspective. Number one, the game at Oregon was a night game. So you bought yourself 4 hours of start time on that Saturday. So I think that probably contributed to it a little bit. And then my second hunch is that they probably consulted with some NFL teams about the trials and tribulations of trying to go to the West Coast. And one thing that I know from the Browns is if they go all the way to the coast, so if they go play the Seahawks, they go play the Rams or the Chargers or the 49ers, they usually go out 2 days in advance. So they'll fly Friday for those games, be touchdown, wheels down at the location on Friday, then have all day Saturday to get acclimated to play an afternoon game on Sunday afternoon. My hunch is that's the same thing that Ohio State is following here, and that those are the two reasons for it. I think it makes a lot of sense to do so, to get out there, get acclimated, get ready for the time change. My hunch is they'll just stay on East Coast time. That's what I would do in this scenario. I'd just stay East Coast time. I wouldn't even, I'm sure most of them have like Apple Watches, and obviously they all have phones and all of that, but I almost ignore that. You almost need like the old school, like traditional watch. That would be the way to do it. And then just stay on that East Coast time because it's a 3:30 Eastern kick. So that's a very normal kick for the Buckeyes. I would just stay on that. I'd get up early tomorrow morning in Seattle and just stay on those body clocks and keep them the same. I try to do that when we go west. For a certain amount of time. If it's a short trip, I always just stay on East Coast time. Typically, when I go west, I also leave my watch on East Coast time no matter what. So my phone will give me, obviously, Pacific time, but I keep the watch on East Coast time so I have some perspective of where the world is. But my guess is that's why they did those things, is to get out there, get some advance. Now, once they get there, the opponent is going to be a sturdy one. The environment is going to be an electric one. Here's Sonny Styles on the preparation for that.
Super excited. I know they've had a lot of great success at home, and they're a great team. It's going to be an amazing environment to play in, so it's exciting. It's our first road game. It's a really tough one. I think we're going to walk out of this game, figuring out a lot of stuff about ourselves. Yeah, especially for the offense, we've been pumping noise into the speakers during practice. I can't really hear anything. Coach Day's trying to get us so used to it. Like when they get out to the game, like it's almost like you're like eliminating that sense. You're not even hearing the noise. You're just playing through it. And I think he's done a great job with that. Obviously he has a lot of experience playing in loud stadiums, so I'm sure the offense will be ready for it.
How big of an impact? I'd be very curious to talk to, if you could get like a straight answer on someone who's done it, who's played in these most extreme atmospheres. How much of an impact does that crowd have on your ability to go through your play in, play out operation? That to me is the most interesting. There's no question. I've seen it. You guys have seen it. When a crowd, the best example I can think of this is sometimes in Happy Valley on a whiteout when they used to play that game at night, there was a nerviness that came with it. And you'd see false starts and stuff just because it's so loud. We see it here that way too. But I also think that sometimes we make a little bit too big of a deal of this. The way that things are done now from a communication standpoint, it's all in the helmet now too. This is the second year of that. So I suppose you'll see Julian a lot, going like this and trying to hear the play call coming in. Usually sometimes you'll see NFL teams will do this. They'll tape the ear holes of the quarterback so that they can hear better what's going on inside the helmet. So I think you could see that as well. The easiest way to shut all of this down is to get off to a quick start. Then you can nullify a crowd, and there's nothing more satisfying than that. I approve of what they're doing. I think all of this stuff makes sense. You're curious how they manage tomorrow in Seattle out there. Do you partake in any? It almost feels like you play that far away. It damn near feels like a bowl game, kind of. Like, do you go to Pike's Place Market? Do you go to Original Starbucks? You do all that stuff? I mean, you basically got a free day in Seattle tomorrow.
Yeah, I think you try to keep it as close to a Friday at home as possible.
I would think.
Where if there is some time, but you don't give them too much time. Like, you don't deviate too much from, what do you call it, the best Fridays in football? You don't deviate too much from that schedule. I'm interested with the response of this team, because you talk about, Sane will have the green dot, Sonny Styles will have the green dot. Last year's team for Ohio State felt like they would have relished being the team that walks into a stadium and just gets booed out of the building. Mm-hmm. Will this team have that same kind of edge to it? So you can thrive in a lot of those situations.
Do you think that team had that at Oregon? Or I think they developed that at Penn State.
I think they developed it. I think at Penn State was probably when it came out, at least from the offensive side of things. But, man, you'd have told me before that game against Oregon, Ohio State would have held them to 32 points. And I'm like, damn, they got a puncher's chance.
Yeah.
That's how prolific that Oregon team was. And, and you saw what happened with Ohio State's defense at the end of the season. It was only historic. So this, I think, game comes at the right time of the season. You're still in the month of September. You've still got so much green grass ahead of you. Mm-hmm. But the idea that this is a sellout, that this is a Washington Huskies team, then we'll talk to Tony Castricone about that fan base and how it feels not having lost a game in that building since 2021. I mean, you think about the great Oregon teams that went into Husky Stadium and did not come out with losses. I don't think Dan Lanning's won there.
No.
This will be great.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't think Dan hasn't if it goes back to 2021. He hasn't been
2021.
Oregon, he hasn't been there long enough, I don't think, to get you to there, right? Well, no, probably not. When did Dan get to Oregon? 2020 or 2021?
I want to say it's
2021. I think was his first season as head coach.
All right. Yeah, so I mean, like, you think about Herbert and Gabriel and Nix, like all those cats went in there and they came out with L's. I mean, they beat them twice the year they played for the national title with Penix. They beat Oregon twice that year with Nix. So that is something to pay. Yeah, it's a real one. It's kind of I think it's kind of perfect. I've said this all along when I saw the schedule. I would have loved to have had this 1 week. I would have loved to go right into this game after Ohio. I think would have been perfect. But you get the bye, you kind of recalibrate. This one has your attention. This flight they're going to take today, I promise you, it's got their attention. When they land in that city and they look around, I mean, Seattle's a massive city. It's huge. And when you land in it, you see where the Seahawks play and where the Mariners play, and it's massive. And then you go out and you see where UW is. I'm curious where they're going to do their walkthrough tomorrow. If they'll do Seahawks or a local high school. There's other universities out there that I'm sure they'll try and do that in. But, I think this one has its attention. And then that environment will be very, very good. And the team is quality. It's a quality squad. And on their own, even if this game were here, it'd be kind of a frisky opponent to play here this early in the season. But it does work out pretty nicely. They're not as talented as Texas. They're not as talented as Penn State. They're probably similarly talented to Michigan, I would say. Maybe a little less so in the trenches. But they've got some weaponry. And in a way, it kind of checks every box of everything you'd want a road game to be this early in the season. So I think this one's kind of perfect. And Seattle's a great town. It's a great town, and I hope they do have some fun tomorrow intermixed with all the rest of it.
By the way, Bo, the line is down to 7.5 now.
Holy cow.
It has dropped 6 points.
What do you read into that?
That a lot of the public? I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look and see. Obviously, a lot of the public is taking Washington in that, and they jumped on Washington right away. I'd love to see what the shark money is on.
That'll be today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if it shoots back up, then you get your answer. 7.5? Yes, please. Can we do it now?
Yeah, I tend to believe that.
Can we do our picks right now for tomorrow? Lock that in at 7.5? Know the scores? Buckeyes 35, Huskies 24.
A little foreshadowing.
Who gets hurt? Nobody gets hurt on that, right? Can we jump in on that right now?
Can anyone score 24 points on this defense?
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. It might be more like 28-14. Maybe something like that would be a little bit more accurate. Going to be a fun one, and that's noteworthy because I think it opened 13.5. So that's a 6-point swing since Saturday.
I kind of get the feeling tonight and tomorrow it's going to go back up a point or two.
That's what usually you get that. You get that. You got the Ryder. By the way, with all the rest of this, incredible baseball, really a spectacular weekend in college football, the NFL in full swing, which is obviously still king. Oh yeah, we have the Ryder Cup. For some perspective on United States versus Europe at Bethpage Black, Shedloski of Golf Digest is going to join us coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Oven-baked French toast, hot melty cheese, and meat, and meat, and meat. Introducing UDF's new 3-meat French toast sandwich, piled with bacon, sausage, and Canadian bacon. United Dairy Farmers. Mornings made for you.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Don't miss the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale. Save up to 80% on truckloads of floors and more, including tiles starting at 19 cents a square foot and a massive selection of carpet, luxury vinyl, laminate, and hardwood, even installation supplies. Everything you need for your next project. Save up to 80% during the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale on Poth Road in Whitehall. Hurry, the Outlet Super Sale ends September 30th. Dealers welcome.
Common Man here for Germain Lexus. It's fall or autumn, as the losers like to say. What does that mean in the car world? That means places like Germain Lexus want to clear out all of their 2025 inventory to make room for the 2026 models. And for you, the customer, that means big savings. Take advantage of their lack of space with aggressive pricing. They also have plenty of L-certified vehicles on the lot for the fall collection sales event. If you're in the market, please stop in and see my friends. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick. back.
Earn 2% cash back on purchases and pay 0% APR on balance transfers for 15 months with a new Kemba Financial Credit Union Visa. That's more rewards and less interest. Apply at Kemba.org. For purchases and balance transfers made in the first 90 days, restrictions apply. APR equals annual percentage rate. Variable and subject to change. Equal opportunity lender expires 10/31/25.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Ready for your next truck? At Krieger Ford, we have just what you're looking for. Trade in your vehicle and get a new Ford F-150 with a black appearance package for $11,000 off MSRP. It's all part of the Krieger commitment. Best cars, best people, peace of mind. Visit us today on Morris Road in Columbus or find your new truck at KriegerFord.com.
Take action with Logan Services now and do not miss out on tax credits up to $3,200 ending soon. Receive additional savings up to $3,000 and get next day installation. Logan Services.
He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown! This is what the Buckeyes train so hard for.
Just like Valvoline Instant Oil Change, their techs train like pros to deliver expert service every time.
Wait, are we talking about football or oil changes?
Both. Whether it's the Buckeyes on the field or your car in the bay, it's all about preparation and precision.
Can't argue with that.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit VIOC.com/Buckeyes today.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Taking the art of sports radio and day drinking to a whole new level. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Well, mixed in with all of the sports that is going on, we get a tradition that is one of our favorites. It's really one of the highlights anytime it comes around. It's every 2 years. It's the Ryder Cup. And when you want to talk about the Ryder Cup and get some perspective, you want to talk to one of the preeminent voices in the sport, and that's where we find our buddy Dave Shedloski of Golf Digest, preeminent author as well. Dave, thanks so much for taking the time. For the folks who haven't been to a actual Ryder Cup, how would you describe the atmosphere that is specifically unique to it versus everything else you see on tour?
Yeah. First of all, thanks for having me, Bo. I would describe it as sort of a World Series type atmosphere where every shot, just like every pitch in the World Series, every shot is celebrated or reacted to. It's loud. It's often very partisan, which you don't get very much in golf. Occasionally you do. Heck, we even saw it at the Memorial Tournament years ago where, you know, the local fans were cheering for Jack Nicklaus over Andy Bean in 1984. So, but it's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And it's, you know, people say, well, did it get out of it? Has it gotten out of control? Not yet, but I'm willing to bet New York could do that.
I'm glad you put the yet on the end of it, my friend, because we've never done it at Bethpage Black before. And I do think that could be part of the star of this weekend, right? Is playing it at that place with how that crowd could be.
Yeah, the People's Public Course, they call it, I guess. And, you know, we know how New York fans can be, and they've certainly proven it at Bethpage Black with a couple of U.S. Opens there, a PGA where they turned on Brooks Koepka in 2019, rooting for Dustin Johnson. It got very difficult for Brooks to finish off that championship. He did. But, hey, look, they have their favorites, and in this case it's a, you know, patriotic favorite. And you wonder how it's all going to play out, but Europe's got a very difficult task playing in front of that crowd.
Dave, is there anything that the officials is there anything that's out of line? You know, as long as you're not within the ropes, is there any sort of thing that officials will do to hey, tone it down here? Or do they just let them go?
They let him go for the most part. I asked Shane Lowry a few weeks ago at the Tour Championship what was the line? When do they cross the line? He said, when they go after my family. And I can understand that. Look, you can go after the golfer all day. You can go after the team all day. don't make it that personal. So that's where there is a line. And yes, they have crowd control people at these events now. They will point them out and they'll get them out of there. Nothing wrong with cheering. Nothing wrong with even insulting the players. There's nothing wrong with that in the Ryder Cup. We've been seeing that since 1999 at Brookline. But, yeah, there's a line there.
Dave, have you ever seen anything in golf quite like the way that the Bryson DeChambeau part of it, and your boots on the ground, I'm 30,000 feet up, but from my perspective about 5-6 years ago, he's on the outside looking in. I mean, there was an awkward running of the Memorial Tournament here where like fans were kind of sick of him. A lot of people kind of had him on the outs. All the stuff with Koepka. He goes to live, which is typically people kind of turn on those guys, but he kind of flipped it with the social media and all of that. And now it almost feels like he's got kind of a Captain America vibe to him. What do you make of his transition over the last 5, 6, 7 years?
I think it's pretty cool, actually, and I like Bryson. I've always liked Bryson. He was a great winner of the Memorial Tournament and one of the few guys who actually came back the next year for Media Day, one of the only winners. He's got, I think, a pretty good heart, and he just sometimes the intelligence factor gets in the way, and he's too smart by half for his own good. But look, he has figured out that his style of golf is very popular, and that feeds into a lot of what he does. People, hey, look, you know, it's like they've been saying back in the commercials, chicks dig the long ball. Everybody loves the long ball. And so there's a popularity there to watch him. And this notion like Rory McIlroy is the most popular player in golf. No, I would say Bryson is. When you mention the social media and everything else, it is a bit of a transformation. But not a big one. I think he just figured out who he is and why he's popular, and he just plays into that.
And you speak of the playing into it. I've seen him this week, like trying to drive. You know the course better than I do, but trying to drive one of the holes there, like trying to go like kind of cut the pie, if you will.
Yeah.
So that type of stuff, those little nuggets to fans, they go a long way, don't they?
They really do, and I think he signs more autographs than anyone. You know, when he won the U.S. Open last year, he engaged with the fans a lot too. Again, is some of it a shtick? I don't know. Phil Mickelson, you know, he engaged with fans a lot and signed tons of autographs, and people thought it was a shtick, but it worked, and people loved Phil, and I think people love Bryson for the same thing. And look, whether it's a shtick or not, the bottom line is he tries, and we need more of that in golf because we're not seeing enough of it.
You're 100% right on that. In terms of the actual matches, you mentioned that, you know, kind of the uphill task that Team Europe has in this thing. Give me a little handicap, if you will, of how you see this thing going this weekend.
I called it a tie after I saw all the selections. When you have 11 of the 12 players from Rome who kicked the U.S. ass, they're back for this one. That's formidable. They know what they're doing, and they play in America. So it's not like you can do much to the golf course to say, well, here's a home course advantage. The only home course advantage, look, is the fans, and thankfully for that. I still see it as a tie or a very narrow U.S. victory. And after we have seen blowouts from the home team the last 4 or 5 of these, we need a close one just to prove that the home course advantage isn't as big as it has been.
So many eyes this summer have been on Rory since the win at the Masters. He's made a bunch of different choices from what maybe he, you scoff, as you know. Like, what do you make of the choices he's made this summer?
Well, he's been an enigma, and I think you would agree with that, and you've seen it. The emotional win at the Masters, and everybody felt really great about that. I think that was the most popular Masters win since Dustin Johnson. And it just sort of turned from like, we all really enjoyed Rory and we're happy for him to, what is he doing? He doesn't want to talk to the media. He doesn't want to, he's kind of sour with fans. I mean, what was going on? We couldn't figure it out. And now he sort of turned around again. But something happened. We don't know what it was, but it was in his personal life. And because obviously from a public standpoint, a golf standpoint, he was still the same kind of person, between the ropes. So it's actually kind of baffling to all of us who've been following Rory for, I've known Rory since his first tour win in 2010. So that was a weird one, especially given that he was on a kind of a honeymoon phase after the Masters, and he sort of kind of, I don't know, ruined it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it does. Dave, I greatly appreciate the time and you sharing us a little bit of your expertise today. Thanks for giving us a little bit of your time today. Appreciate you.
Well, thanks, Bo. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, he's one of the best in the business. Dave Shedloski of Golf Digest. Here is your schedule for the Ryder Cup. He joined on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, by the way. Opening ceremonies were last night, so this starts tomorrow at 7 a.m. You can catch it on USA Network, and then it'll go Saturday to NBC 7 to 6, and then Sunday noon to 6 on NBC. So that's where that schedule looks. As a quick editorial, I would have moved the Sunday to morning to stay out of the NFL's way, but that's just me. We'll open up the mailbag coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on The Buckeye Show. New special guests in everything scarlet and gray. The Fan.
Thank you for calling Spectrum. My name is Angie, and I'm in Orlando, Florida. How can I help you today?
Great. You're still there. It must be like 3 a.m.
We're always here 24/7. What can I do for you?
I know it's late, but I wanted to ask you about the best place to set up my router.
It's never too late. We'll have you up and running in no time.
Only Spectrum has 24/7, 100% U.S.-based customer support. It's only everything. Spectrum fiber-powered internet. It's the fastest and most reliable internet. Go to Spectrum.com to learn more.
Get the MVP, more value price from Coughlin Ford. Lease a new 25 Ford Mustang, Escape, or Bronco Sport, $399 a month with 0 down. New 25 Bronco, Explorer, F-150, or Lightning, only $499 a month with 0 down. Visit our newest location in Marysville or CoughlinFord.com.
48-month lease, all factory rebates to dealer. 7,500 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. Excludes $387 dock fee, $395 disposition fee at lease end. No security deposit. See dealer for details. Ends 9/30/25.
Dormar, your climate hero. When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Your game day headquarters is here at ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus, the only place to watch and win. Catch every play on more than 30 TVs and over 50 feet of video wall. Score tickets, signed professional and college sports memorabilia, and pen cash prizes. Join the watch parties for every home team game with a tailgate buffet and bucket specials. Plus, get official game day swag with every table reservation. Game day lives here, only at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey, it's Timmy Hall. Looky here, guys. The Grove City Smoking Hot Wing and Music Fest is back for year 3, Saturday, October 4th at American Nitro. I'm excited. We're talking cold beer, killer wings, live music all day, football on the big screen. It all supports Ghosts of War, helping veterans in need. So veterans and military, you're in free, baby. Get your tickets at AmericanNitro.com/wingfest. Brought to you by The Fan, Columbus Chamber, Martin Painting, T-Mobile, and Greenscapes. Wingfest, flavor, fun, and football. What more do you need?
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. It's time to ditch the traffic jams and the rat race and take in that crisp morning air, the crackle of a warm campfire. With RCD RV's Fall Into Adventure Sale, you can. September 15th through the 30th, you can cozy up to incredible deals. Sale pricing on all remaining new 2025 models. And RCD has travel trailers starting under $12,995, as well as pre-owned motorhomes priced under $39,995. Visit one of our 3 locations, Delaware, Heath, Pataskala. Shop online anytime at rcdrv.com.
Save big money on everything for your next bathroom project. Now at Menards. Upgrade your bathroom with Max. With more than 1,000 showers, bathtubs, and surrounds, you're sure to find exactly what you need to add luxury and style to your bathroom. Save big on our entire selection of Max bathroom products. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
What's better than cheering the Buckeyes on to victory? Wearing our exclusive collection of OSU jewelry as you watch. Hi, this is Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. We're an officially licensed jeweler of The Ohio State University, and we've created beautiful Buckeye jewelry that will last a lifetime. From Blocko earrings to Diamond Script Ohio necklaces, we've got luxury Buckeye gifts starting at $99. No matter where you're watching, show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Children with Down syndrome in Central Ohio need your support. Join 10TV, Newman Roofing, and the Down Syndrome Association of Central Ohio Sunday, October 5th for the 2025 Buddy Walk. Join thousands of participants as we come together to celebrate the uniqueness and resiliency of the Down syndrome community. Your participation and donations directly support programs and services for people with Down syndrome and their families. Together, we can make a meaningful impact and pave the way for a more inclusive future. Sunday, October 5th for the 2025 Buddy Walk.
In Columbus, how you roll up on game day matters. And with Polestar are redefining the driving experience. The Polestar 3 isn't just an electric SUV. It's an SUV that drives like a sports car. Precise, powerful, silent enough to hear the crowd before you see the stadium. Drive it today at Polestar Columbus. Or visit polestarcolumbus.com for a test drive and to learn about our competitive lease offers.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reese. Top-ranked Ohio State is a 7.5-point favorite this Saturday at Washington. It'll be a 3:30 kick from Husky Stadium, a place Washington hasn't lost at since 2021. Buckeyes are headed to Seattle this afternoon in advance of Saturday's game. They'll leave following the Ryan Day radio show, which you can hear on The Fan today at noon. OSU's back at the Shoe next Saturday night, hosting Minnesota at 7:30. In the NHL, the Blue Jackets beat the Penguins 4-1, or 2-2 on the preseason. CBJ are in Pittsburgh versus the Pens on Saturday. And in baseball, the Guardians are first place in the AL Central. Cleveland beat Detroit last night 5-1 and looks to sweep the series tonight at 6:40. As for the Reds, Cincinnati looks to avoid the sweep and stay alive in the NL wildcard. They'll host the Pirates today at 12:40. You can hear that game over on The Fan, too. That's 1460 on the AM dial. This update is sponsored by Germain Toyota, the best selection of new and used cars in Central Ohio. View their full selection of vehicles online at germaintoyota.net.
Distilled sports discussion served in light beer quantities. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour on a Thursday edition, 28 minutes from right now. Paul Finebaum will be joining us on the program. Between now and then, we're opening up that mailbag. Hit it, fellas.
Our comment box is always open. Any feedback is mostly appreciated.
The mail never stops. It just keeps coming and coming and coming. There's never a let up. It's relentless. Every day it piles up more and more and more, and you gotta get it up. And the more you get out, the more it keeps coming in.
Bishop and Friends present emails.
So it's interesting. I was curious because we're on it with the bye week. Will there be a drop off in the mailbag? Usually you get a lot of them on a Buckeye game after a Buckeye Saturday. There was not. Mailbag was full again this week. So good job out of everybody. We don't even tell them where to send them. And I get them. They all come through. So God bless. Bake, someone's coming for you too.
Bo, somebody found my email too this week.
Oh, baby.
And I got one. Somebody wants to have a drink at the Blue Jackets game. I'm like,
be careful with that.
Okay.
You're being pursued. Your head's getting pretty big. We've got Shannon's coming for you every other week, and then now you're going to go have drinks. Who knows?
Listen,
don't get catfished.
My hat size is still the same.
I don't know. All this celebrity. We do have an email here that's going to take you down a peg, though, so you have that to look forward to, which is nice.
Oh, boy.
This one starts from Greg. Well, they came for Reese 2 weeks ago, so now they're coming for you. So this is what happens. This one from our loyal listener, Greg from Botkins. The subject is RJ Day. He writes, "Good morning, fellas. On Friday night before the Texas game, I decided to take up your advice attending an Ohio high school football game. I took my boys to St. Francis de Sales home game. RJ looked like Baker Mayfield, slinging the ball all over the place. RJ has numerous offers from schools from Bowling Green to Clemson to Iowa State and Purdue. 3 things. Do you think Ryan Day will allow his son to play for another Big Ten school?" All right, let's answer that one first. Yeah, I think he would. If he trusted the coach, I think he would. And you have to, every coach handles this differently. Like sometimes you want to coach your kid. Sometimes you don't want any part of it. And so I could see a scenario where he may actually prefer him not. But who knows? That's you'd have to get inside Ryan's head on that. I'm not sure where he would stand on that. But yeah, I think he would. Big Ten's now a big league. If there's a coaching buddy that he has in this league that he trusts, for sure. For sure, I think he would.
I think they did go on I don't know if it was an official visit to Clemson. And I remember saying at the time, like, I don't go there. This was a couple of years ago, so this was Dabo in his heyday.
Yeah, but I think Ryan even said if he could pick anywhere for him to play, or any coach, it'd be Dabo. So I think he would sign up for that.
Listen, and I think Ryan would let that happen. Ryan has been pretty level-headed in all of this from some of the things I've heard. Like, I remember when Jeff Hafley was still at Boston College, he wanted to offer RJ. I don't even know if he was a freshman yet. He wanted to offer RJ, and Ryan was like, I don't know. And then RJ went to a camp and showed out and did really well in the camp. And Hafley went to Ryan and was like, listen, he did what we wanted in this camp. We really want to offer him. I think RJ was a freshman at this time. Yeah. So Ryan was like, okay, you can offer him now. But
well, see, there you go. Like Bill O'Brien's at BC now. Like, would that be something you'd be interested in? My hunch is yes. I don't know. Number 2 from Greg, is RJ a top quarterback in Ohio? Bake, I'll lean on you on that. I'm not sure.
So I don't know if he's a top quarterback in Ohio just because of his size. I think he's just like 5'11" right now. Okay. He's about 203.
Hey,
He's a pretty stocky kid. It's one of those things where if RJ was 6'2", everybody would be offering him, but he's 5'11" right now, so it's a little different. I will say this, Bo. I remember watching him in practice as a freshman at DeSales, and he might be, like, from what I've seen, and I have no trained eye, but from what I see, like, everything he did in practice was intentional, and he might have been the most fundamentally sound quarterback I've ever seen, just with everything he did.
Yeah. He's probably getting some pretty good coaching.
For sure.
And finally, his third point, on October 24th, Marion local Coldwater, any chance the Bishop boys make an appearance for a MAC showdown? I so want to. I will do it before the end of days. I got to get to that one, and I need to see a Massillon-McKinley game at Paul Brown and Massillon. Those are the two things that I got to do in the state. Every time it sneaks up on me, and then I'm thinking, I'm going to go, and then I look at how long it takes me to drive there, and I go, I really need like an Airwolf chopper or something, because there's just no easy way to get out there.
Just get the chopper. You'll be fine.
Fire up Chopper 10 for that, I think.
Where is that thing? Like, do we have to oil change and put some gas in? It'll be fine.
Go out there and get that thing humming again, man. This one from Bob. The subject is transfer portal changes. Bob writes, you've already appropriately thrashed the NCAA idiot's latest idiotic move. I suggest 2 ways this might play out. Most likely, a player decides to leave X university outside the portal window, so he simply withdraws from X, applies to Y, is admitted and enters, then joins the football program. The NCAA will either do nothing, which they are good at, or do something stupid, which they are better at, for example, declaring the player ineligible to play at Y. Player goes to court. What do you suppose is going to happen in court? We all know. Much more fun, though unlikely, a core group of big-name players from multiple schools from a resistance group and recruit every player on their respective teams to enter the transfer portal during the arbitrary window the NCAA establishes. They declare no intention to transfer. They simply enter their name in the portal to put themselves in the exact position of every other student in their universities. He's dead on at the first one. The only thing that I think that could prevent the second one is so many of these guys have agreements with their NIL now but I guess those aren't, I don't know, man. It's such a mess. I think most likely it's going to be option A. And we've already seen that where guys just jump in and transfer and they find new places. I think we're, for the longest time, guys, we would always talk about the sport needs guardrails. I just think we're almost now, and this hurts me, painful to say, I just think we're almost to the point where this sport is immune to guardrails, that they've waited too damn long, and that anything they attempt to do with it will be shot down in a court of law.
Yeah, at this point, anything you try to do, it's almost like they're, and by they I mean just attorneys and lawyers for players will advocate, they'll argue antitrust, they'll advocate players' rights, and they're foaming at the mouth to go to court against you. And by you, I mean the NCAA or the College Sports Commission or whomever's trying to put guardrails or be in charge. That's why they keep whining to the feds about it. But that's not happening.
Yeah, I think you're right. Everything's unfair nowadays, and we'll just settle it in court.
Be careful. You're getting one. Somebody's going to come put you in a box here to second bake.
I can't wait.
This one from Eric, not Reese.
Hey, wait a minute.
Subject: stadium song and experience. You spent a lot of time talking about the camp song, and rightfully so. Rule number 1 is that everyone needs to know the words to the song, right? Then he writes in capital letters, Hell's Bells. Not the bells at the beginning. The lyrics and the whole stadium sings a lot to bury the visiting team late in the game. My only objection as a Christian is the message, but the song gets me pumped, so I think it could catch on immediately because the song is already ingrained. I don't think the song is ingrained. And I think the other thing I think the beginning is ingrained. I don't know how many people know all of the words to Hell's Bells, but the bigger problem with it is, I think, again, it's not sing-songy enough. This is it, guys, on the song. You almost have to pick the most annoying's probably the wrong word. The most familiar sing-songy song you can pick. Those are the ones that you can do. You can't have a stadium. I don't think you can have a stadium singing Hell's Bells or Thunderstruck or anything in that world. It has to be more sing-songy than that, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know that I don't think, first of all, I don't know that everyone would know the words to Hell's Bells. I don't know if I do. Know all the words to Hell's Bells? I don't think I do.
So what you're saying is we need an HVAC company's commercial?
That's what we need.
Or whoever writes those jingles.
It's got to be. Everyone's got to know it, and it's got to be sing-songy.
Remember, everybody poops, everybody pees.
That's right.
Unless you're in C deck because the lines are too long.
They're too long. Can't get there. All right, you ready, Bake?
I'm ready. Let's go.
This is what happens. You've been getting your head blown up here. You got people wanting to date you, meet you for drinks.
I'm ready for it.
Now you get Zach's coming for you. The subject is new cowherd. So that's a compliment.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was going to be about me. I thought, what did I say?
He's doing all right.
There are worse things that could be said.
He lives in Manhattan Beach. He's making 7 figures plus every year. It could be worse things. Hey, Bo, let me start by saying this comes from a place of love. Baker is an awesome addition to the show, but at what point does he deserve the nickname Bad Take Bake? That's a good nickname. His takes on Myles Garrett recently just reminded me that some of his takes are way out of left field. The worst offender was his Rory McIlroy take. Only 15 golfers all time have more majors than him, and even one before he won the Masters. Only 21 golfers had more. 100 weeks as the world number 1, number 2 all time on the PGA Tour money list, and a surefire Hall of Famer since he was 22. But that's not good enough for Ryan Baker. All of that being said, I'm not even a fan of Rory, but I can respect the greatness. Again, most of the time I love Bake, but every once in a while he throws a take out there that drives me nuts. So it's working.
So first of all, Rory should thank me because I called him a bum and then he finally got it done and won the Masters. So Rory should thank me for that. And here was my thing with Rory McIlroy. He had all those majors like the first 2 or 3 years of his career.
Yeah.
And then he never did anything when the expectations are. And I'm saying anything by the majors because I feel like that's what we judge golf by.
Yeah.
And like, when I go with some of these guys, it's because they have so much hype and I feel like they don't live up to it. So that's what I go for. So Rory hadn't done anything in 10 years because he hadn't won a major. And he was right there and he kept choking. So that was where my Rory take came from. And like I said, I went after him and then he won a major. I've gone after Justin Herbert. Maybe he'll win something now. So we'll see.
Reese, let's make sure we have Bad Take Bake. Like, that's a great.
This could be a segment.
I get like the voice guy to have it. So whenever he just levies a take, Bad Take Bake.
All right, there's more to get to, including a very thoughtful one from our buddy Snagglepuss and Zach with an interesting question on Vince Vaughn. We'll get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, Sorry for that. The Fan.
Is your money just lying around? Switch to Huntington Bank, and your money's always doing something. Like auto saving for special events, tracking your teen spending, and helping protect your parents from fraud. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 9/30. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
Don't miss the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale. Save up to 80% on truckloads of floors and more, including tiles starting at 19 cents a square foot, and a massive selection of carpet, luxury vinyl, laminate, and hardwood, even installation supplies. Everything you need for your next project. Save up to 80% during the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale on Poth Road in Whitehall. Hurry, the Outlet Super Sale ends September 30th. Dealers welcome.
Tailgate season is here, and if your grill makes you have to duck when you light it, it's time for an upgrade. Billiards Plus carries top-of-the-line grills that you can pass down to your kids and gifts the whole family will enjoy. Family owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
If you're itching for a new vehicle this fall, you have to go see my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Hey, it's Anthony. I drive an awesome Ridgeline, and you can drive home the rugged 25 Ridgeline Sport with 0% APR or lease for as low as $299 a month. Or go for the looks and reliability of a 2025 Honda Accord LX, just 3.99% APR or lease it from only $199 a month. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. And GermainHondaofDublin.com.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Join now.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Chances of rain becoming a little bit more isolated going into the day today. Otherwise expected to be partly to mostly cloudy with highs in the upper 70s. For tonight, turning partly cloudy overnight and cooler with our lows in the 50s. And then we end the work week with a little bit more sunshine and much drier weather. Daytime highs will top out in the upper 70s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvus are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan. Bo knows many people. He talks to the interesting ones on this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is, and we are sponsored proudly by our friends at Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for nearly 8 decades. Buckeye jewelry starting at just $99. They'll take care of you, I promise you. All right, a couple more from the mailbag. This one from the great Snagglepuss. He's a heck of an orator and an incredible writer, but we got a lot here, so I'm going to get through this. So, ratings thought. Hope all is well. Tonight is, so he writes this on Saturday before Illinois, Indiana. I see how it's being marketed. Ranked matchup. Second time these teams have been ranked in their 75 meetings. Illinois is this year's Indiana. Yet it's still not really appointment viewing. By the way, he likes Black Rabbit. Have you seen this? Is this a Netflix?
It's good.
It's okay?
Jude Law and...
Bateman, right?
Yeah, Jason Bateman.
He compares it to, he says it's the universe apologizing for COVID ruining Ozark. I think Ozark landed the plane, didn't it?
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, it was pretty good. All right, but I'm curious what the ratings will be, but I hope you talk about it. I say this because I don't know if you guys can pull a comp like from 2015. Give me a ranked versus ranked LSU versus Auburn. Excuse me. In 15 or 13. What I'm getting at, those games were more appointment viewing because those teams were not Ohio State of the SEC, but they had won recent national championships, so there was a threat. Can Illinois or Indiana beat Ohio State? Yeah, sure. 2018 Purdue, 2017 Iowa. Random stuff happens. But my mind is focused on the marketing. People know what's legit. We're fans. We know. I believe most people don't actually watch the games with an analytical mind, that they just try to predict the energy momentum based on past experiences. And he has some thoughts about folks saying some things inaccurate about the Washington quarterback around here. So I'm curious what the numbers will be for Illinois, Indiana. I'm curious if you know of a way to come up with a past comp in terms of where to kind of put that into perspective. I hope Illinois and Indiana can stay successful. Maybe the ratings will be a solid number. And I think the back of people's heads, it doesn't really draw that interest because they've been down in recent years, but whatever. He also asked if our show needs a researcher. Sure, we have the MIT kids, but I would take all of the help that we can get here. So this one actually did rate, and not well. We went over this, and so I think he's right. I think he's right that one of the battles that the Big Ten is going to have to get used to is what would be the best way to kind of. Okay, this just jumps into mind. So Hyundai makes a damn fine car, right? They make a nice car, but they also wanted to make a luxury car. So they had a car called the Hyundai Genesis. Okay, it was a Hyundai Genesis. So, but it wasn't selling and was not thought in the way of, for example, a Lexus or a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW or that type of luxury sedan. So what did Hyundai do? They took out the Hyundai, and now it's just Genesis. That's the brand. So Nissan did this with Infiniti. They make them. They're the same car. Lexus does the same thing. Toyota owns Lexus. So Lexus, they just changed the brand. Acura and Honda, that's what they do. And I think his point here is that the brand of Indiana, Illinois is not enough to drive numbers. Now there's a lot of factors to it. We figured out that they went to Peacock for the start of the game, so that contributed. But I do think he's right. And I think one of the great kind of branding takeovers of the last 30 years is what SEC did on CBS. I've said this before. That game was on national television. The best game of the week in that conference is on national television at 3:30 every single Saturday. And it got ingrained in our heads that those teams were better, that those brands were bigger, that conference was better. And then it started to win national championships. We're past that now. The Big Ten's won the last two. But it's going to take it's going to take Indiana being good and staying good for 5, 6, 7 years for them to get to the point. You think about what Boise State's done. You think what Oregon's done over the last 25 years. That type of growth only comes from consistent success over and over again, and that's how you can kind of break through the marketing or the brand association that you have with those programs. I think he's got a point. I don't know how exactly you get out of it other than just keep winning a lot.
That's the only way to get out of it. You almost need a decade. I think you need maybe even more. I mean, we're thinking about Alabama, and like there are 2 generations of Alabama fans that have no idea what losing looks like. Like their whole life has been this Alabama juggernaut that's been with Nick Saban. And so I think you would almost have to do not something to that level, but you'd got to give it at least I'd think 10 years before you can start to change the perception of Indiana, because over the past my 35 years, it's always just been kind of one thing, and then maybe in an outlier, oh, that was fun, but nothing to get national interest like that. Similarly with Illinois.
Yeah, I think when you think of maybe even Illinois too, but definitely Indiana, you don't think football, you think basketball. I mean, Indiana has been a basketball school for as long as I can remember, and they were not good at football at all. Like, if they had a 500 team, I feel like that was something that was kind of celebrated over there. So when you throw up on the marquee, you're like, hey, Big Ten Saturday night, and you say Illinois versus Indiana, people are like, well, why the hell am I going to watch that? Those schools don't play football. I mean, it's just the way it is, right? Like, it's just different.
Yeah.
Like Ohio State, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, you think football immediately.
You do, and some of that on those SEC schools comes from 30 years of being on national television at the same time. So they could easily switch. You got to remember when the SEC first went to that in the early 90s, the best program, Alabama was coming out of winning national title with Stallings, and they fell off a cliff. So then it was Spurrier, and it was Fulmer. It was Florida, Tennessee. Like, those were the preeminent teams in that league when that was first getting going. But then they easily pivoted to, well, LSU's now better than Tennessee, so now it's LSU, and Bama's better than Florida, so now it's Bama. So now it's Bama LSU for a while. And for the last few years, it's been Bama Georgia. Now Texas is elevated. So they can just cycle one in after another, and we are now kind of preconditioned to just say, you see it in the polls. I went on a rant about it last week. Well, we got to have a bunch of SEC teams ranked without any real critical thinking of if they're worthy of it. And the Big Ten's not there yet. But we're getting there. You've won the last 2 national titles. If Oregon wins a national title in the next couple of years, that's another step. If Penn State can win a national title, that's another step. That's what it takes.
And, Bo, I think you made a great point yesterday when we were doing higher or lower. If you switch out that Indiana helmet for a Michigan helmet, that team's ranked higher than...
Yeah, they're 4th in the country. If you flip it. Might be able to do that if you're USC, too. I don't know. This is, how much time do I got? 2 minutes? All right, let's do it. This is from Zach. Higher or lower? He's rewatching Old School the other night, so he wanted to get an opinion on this. Higher or lower on Vince Vaughn movies? He gives Wedding Crashers, Old School, and Dodgeball. I don't think Old School doesn't get enough run as a rewatchable movie. I think it's better than Dodgeball, but slightly below Wedding Crashers. Also, I know you love Swingers, but I haven't seen that one. So, Zach, go see that one immediately.
Yeah, you can't do
Swingers.
a Vince Vaughn rankings without Swingers.
That's apex. Young Vaughn, precocious, bouncing around. You're so money you didn't even know it. I mean, it's everything you want. My vote on those 3 would be in the order you have them. I would go, I think Wedding Crashers from Crab Cakes and Football to The Painting Was a Gift is the funniest 90. It's like an hour. It's like 65, 70 minutes of screen time. I think it's the funniest 70 minutes ever put on film in that stretch. So I would have that one. I would go Old School 2, and I'd go Dodgeball 3.
I agree. Wedding Crashers is one of my favorite of all time.
Yeah, Wedding Crashers, I think, is his best film, the best work he's done. Similarly, Owen Wilson. Similarly, Christopher Walken. Like, they're at their apex comedically in that movie. But Swingers is so much fun for me. I love that movie.
Swingers is... You've seen Swingers, right, Beck?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you another one that's really funny. Favreau and him did Made, like 5 years later. 5 or 6 years later, they did a movie called Made it's right there. But instead of, like, everything looking cool, they kind of look like dopes. But it's great. It's very, very good.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
We'll have a conversation with our buddy Paul Finebaum in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus. It's fall or autumn, as the losers like to say. What does that mean in the car world? That means places like Jermaine Lexus want to clear out all of their 2025 inventory to make room for the 2026 models. And for you, the customer, that means big savings. Take advantage of their lack of space with aggressive pricing. They also have plenty of L-certified vehicles on the lot for the fall collection sales event. If you're in the market, please stop in and see my friends. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com. Common Man here for Hollywood Casino and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Timmy, it's football season. That means winning and fun.
Oh, yeah. We have tailgate buffets for all of our watch parties. The 3 apps for $12 special, $25 Miller Lite buckets.
And don't forget the crab legs. That's extended through September.
So reserve a table at HollywoodColumbus.com.
And how about this for new members? Sign up for the rewards program on the Penn Play app. Get a $20 dining credit.
And you get more crab legs.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, crab legs.
Crab leg problem? Call 1-800-CRAB-LEGS.
Tailgate season is here, and if your grill makes you have to duck when you light it, it's time for an upgrade. Billiards Plus carries top-of-the-line grills that you can pass down to your kids and gifts the whole family will enjoy. Family owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HindererMotorCompany.com.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Bishop and Friends present college football's most polarizing figure.
Listen to me. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Come on back to our show, Tim. The audience hates you.
This is ESPN's Paul Finebaum, sponsored by the Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact the Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
All right, buddy, big weekend. Fun weekend of college football that we get a chance to talk to. Before we get into that, let's do a little bureaucracy. The SEC goes with we now have a 9-game schedule. They announced the rivalries that they're going to have every single year, and then they're going to move those around as it goes. What did they get right in this, Paul, and what did they get wrong, if anything?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to say they got anything wrong, Bo. What I think they got right is that they finally ended all the criticism, mostly from the Big Ten, but other places as well, that it was inequitable. And the issue on how they're doing it, it's a little bit convoluted, but it's all geared to make sure that there is a very narrow differential between the easiest and the hardest. And I think they got that right. It's complex. You know, with computers and AI, you can pretty much do anything now. You lose a couple of big games. Biggest absence in terms of a regular game is Alabama LSU, but the SEC being who they are, they made sure that game is on the calendar for next year, so nobody can get too upset about it. But mostly, I liked it. It's a little weird when you see Lane Kiffin saying, "Well, why are we playing Oklahoma every year?" There's nothing in common. But ultimately, you have to have weird things like that. And the most important thing they got right, I think, is that you will see every team in the league within a 2-year period. And there are like Georgia has never been to Texas A&M, and Texas A&M came into the league in 2012. So you have a lot of weirdness when it comes to that stuff.
Is there a program, Paul, that you go, boy, their chances improved dramatically with this?
Yeah, I mean, you look at Tennessee. Their 3 rivals are Alabama. It's one of the oldest rivalries in the SEC, and the other 2 are Vanderbilt and Kentucky. So, so they got rid of Georgia and Florida. I'd say they did pretty well. But like Auburn, for example. They get Vanderbilt, by the way, which beat them last year, and their other regular rotating rivals are Georgia and Alabama. So I wouldn't say they did very well.
Did you the cost of not? I mean, Bama LSU obviously not a traditional everything on the line going back 100 years rivalry, but in the last, boy, what would you say, Paul? The last 15 years, it's been one of the 4 or 5 games every year that you had to see. Was there any pushback from either fan base, or are they maybe just sick of playing each other all the time?
No, I mean, really, since Nick Saban arrived in 2007, that has been the biggest game of the year on the calendar. In 2011, they played a 1-versus-2 game in November, and they played a 1-versus-2 game in January for the national championship. It's pretty self-explanatory, but you had to figure it out somewhere, and they spent a long time doing it. But I know a lot of people in the Big Ten don't want to hear this. But what the SEC really did was they took the Big Ten's biggest criticism of them off the table.
Yeah, they did, and I think it sets what I think is going to be interesting here. And when I see what happened with the SEC, and then we're going to have to play Group of 5 or Group of 4 now. I'm sorry. The Big Ten's already at 9 conference games. The ACC followed suit as well because that's what they do. The team that I'm curious about is Notre Dame here, Paul. Like, are they going to be able to put a schedule together here, or is this finally the time where? Because I've always said I've always told Big Ten, I've told athletic directors here, all you got to do is not play them, and they're going to have to join a league. And it feels like the Big Ten's kind of trending in that direction. For example, USC's not on their schedule after next season. Is this finally the time where Notre Dame's not going to have a choice?
It could be, and it really depends on where the ACC goes with them. Now, the ACC did the exact same thing the SEC did. Not that it's going to matter adding California or Stanford to your schedule every year as opposed to Georgia and Texas, but that's their drafting partner right now, and I don't know the answer. I mean, you and I know Notre Dame pretty well. I mean, their arrogance is unsurpassed. So they got away with it last year. It looks like karma has reached back, and I mean, can you imagine they're going to Arkansas this week, which has been terrible. If they lost that game, they might have to reconsider where they are right now in the football world.
You're not wrong on that. One more off the field, then I want to get to these games with you. Is Mike Gundy, he's now the 3rd coach who's been fired already this season, and you think about a guy who's basically spent his life in Stillwater, and we all know I'm a man, I'm 40, and all the other things, the mullet, like all the things. Paul, I kind of lamented him leaving from the standpoint of, are we running out of the characters in the sport? There are so many of these big personalities, and a lot of these younger guys that are coming up, they've grown up coaching in a social media world. They're much more cautious on the mic. There aren't many Kiffins left, if you will. And I like those guys. I liked Spurrier when he'd get on a mic and say crazy things. Bowden would do that too. Are we running out of the characters in the sport?
Yes, and you think about Mike Leach, who died 2.5, 3 years ago. He would say anything. Gundy was kind of a Midwestern version of him, not quite as intellectual. What I saw with Mike Gundy, I mean, he was a fantastic coach, but he just couldn't read the room. He finally got in his own way, and I wonder, and this may sound a little bit crazy, because he's a character of sorts, but is Dabo Swinney trending in that direction?
I had it next because it feels like he's in the exact same spot, and he's a character too. And it feels like time's running out on him a little bit. All right, let's get to these games. So I'm seeing a game in Oxford at 3:30 on ABC. I'm seeing number 4, number 13, and I'm seeing Mississippi favored by 1.5. And they're playing the backup, who's looked really good. Chambliss looked really good the last 2 weeks. What am I missing here? LSU sitting there at 4, yet Ole Miss is favored playing the backup quarterback.
Yeah, here's the problem with LSU. They have 2 significant wins on their board this year, and now neither one looked very good. The win at Clemson, what does that mean? And they beat Florida in a struggle, and Florida has already lost 3 games. So you have to devalue them. I talk to Brian Kelly every week, and he maintained this Monday when we had him on that Nussmeier is healthier than he's been all year. I mean, I don't know. That's coach speak to me. But they have an elite defense. Their offense has been underwhelming. And Ole Miss, they have a weird situation where Austin Simmons was all everything. He got hurt, and this guy, Trinidad Chambliss, has been out of this world. So they might be a better team than we even thought at home.
All right, Yeah. So that one got my attention. I really enjoyed the Auburn-Oklahoma game. John Mateer has been one of the stories of the season, really in all of college football. So now he's out for a little bit of time, and then the reward for Auburn is to go to A&M, who was pretty impressive in their game in South Bend. What's your read on Auburn and A&M this weekend?
You have to like Marcel Reed and Texas A&M. They have, you can devalue the win at Notre Dame, but I'm not going to. I still think that's an amazing place to win, even though I had Le'Veon Moss from A&M on yesterday. He said it's not as good as Kyle Field winning at Notre Dame Stadium. I'd say, okay, whatever. I mean, he was not. I couldn't get him to say anything nice about playing at Notre Dame. He was underwhelmed. But touchdown Jesus. I don't think he really cared. But Auburn to me looks like they're going to lose 2 games because they're still complaining about the penalties and the bad calls in last week's game.
All right, let's do the headliner for your neck of the woods. Alabama in Athens. Kalen DeBoer, not hot, seat isn't hot, I wouldn't assume, other than that it always is in that job. But he probably needs one of these, does he not? I mean, they don't want to sit there at 2-2. Meantime, Georgia comes in 3-0, and it's been pretty solid. But what's your read kind of on that game on Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at all the stats that Kirby Smart has not been able to beat Alabama, but all but one game is against Nick Saban. Okay, so let's not pay attention to that. Last year's game, almost they were down 28-0, and they nearly won the game. They had a fourth quarter lead. I favor Georgia, and it's not for any one reason because I don't really like their team very much, but I do like what they did in Knoxville. And Bo, it's cliche, but when you can steal a game in a place like that, it does something for your confidence. And I've seen too many games in Athens that Georgia shouldn't have won, but they always do.
All right, I'll get you out of here on this one. We're about a month into this thing. Who is your favorite? And I don't mean like rooting for them, but just who is your favorite team in terms of the way they're going about the business in the South so far?
I really like A&M a great deal, and that's kind of a weird answer for you, but I find fault with almost everyone else. The other team I would like to mention, but they already have a loss, is Tennessee. They have really played well, and I think they're dangerous. And I really didn't think they would be, but their quarterback is better than Nico. I'm going to give you the most basic answer, but the winners tomorrow in Oxford and Athens, there's a lot to pay attention to because those games are brutal. And I still like Texas, although it's not a fancy pick, and I don't want to get into the Archmania psychobabble, but they are just sitting there being disrespected for good reason, but I still think we're going to hear from them.
I think we will hear from them as well. That defense is going to travel no matter what happens offensively. Great talking to you as always, buddy. We'll do it again next week. Thanks for your time.
Can't wait, Bo. Thanks.
All right, there he goes. Paul Finebaum, ESPN, joining us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll do a little thing or not a thing up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Let's go! Fox Tonight takes you to hell and back.
Speed up! Yes, yes!
First, don't miss an all-new season of Hell's Kitchen. And for the first time ever, it's a battle of the states.
Cook with pride!
Then, Olympic gold medalist Shawn Johnson.
Ready?
Jump!
Actor Jesse Smollett.
You got this.
TV personality Teresa Giudice and more.
I can't breathe.
Take on Special Forces' world's toughest test.
One of us has to stay calm.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28. At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding. Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points, digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Get the MVP. More value price from Coghlan Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Get 0% financing on a new 25 Kia Sorento or 3.49% on a new 25 Telluride. Visit CoghlanKia.com.
Coghlan has the car for you.
based on January to December 2024 retail sales. 0% for 48 months and 3.49% for 60 months equals $20.83 and $18.19 per 1,000 finance through Kia Motor Finance. Not all will qualify. All qualified manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 9/30/25.
One of the things I had decided when I started the company was we were going to build the best window possible. We were going to give the best service possible. And I think we've accomplished that. Our reputation is built on taking care of people and building a great window and then taking care of it afterwards. It's just a darn good window.
See for yourself. Visit RossatiWindows.com.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
To find an agent near you, visit shelterinsurance.com and switch today.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week. But not OJ, because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays are for football. That's why we're here to help you get your next DIY project done, even when the clock isn't on your side. Whether that's a new Filtrete filter or Bosch and Cobalt power tools, Lowe's has everything you need to feel like the MVP of DIY. So get it done and earn your Sunday. Shop now in store and online. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a Thursday edition. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
NBA teams held their media days this week. Phoenix Suns owner Matt Ishbia joined ESPN Thursday and was asked about dealing Kevin Durant.
Yeah, well, we're really excited about the players we got. You know, Kevin Durant's a great player. There's no one that can ever question that. Just wasn't a fit for what we're doing going forward. Obviously, he's had an amazing career, but he's not a fit for what we're going to do going forward. And we got great players back. With Dylan Brooks, tough-minded, winning type guy. We love that. That's what we have to build out here in Phoenix. Jalen Green, 23-year-old upside, leading scorer and played all 82 games last year. We love Jalen Green. But then we got the 10th pick in Kaman Malawas. We're excited. And with the other picks, we end up getting Rasheer Fleming, Kobe Bryant. We got 5 players, and we love what we've got for it. So we're looking forward, not looking back. Obviously, it didn't work with Kevin. We wish him the best. But for us, going forward, we love the guys we got. We love what we're building. And it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, but we feel great about what we've got here in Phoenix going forward.
Thing or not a thing?
Well, the last part is something that he could have probably listened to when he took over ownership. It's not going to happen overnight. So we saw this with Mikhail Prokhorov when he took over the Brooklyn Nets years ago. When these ultra successful types paratroop, we saw it. You're seeing it with the Clippers, with Ballmer. Like they want it now because they're used to it. And in that league, with the restrictions, with cap and the penalties of trying to keep your own guys and trading for guys and guaranteed contracts, it just paralyzes you. Not only did he do Durant, he did Bradley Beal too. So he did them both, and it really kneecapped their whole operation. So we'll see if he learns from that. A lot of what he said there was utter nonsense. But maybe perhaps he has learned the lesson that this is not the way you do it, where you just bring, like this notion of tracking down a big three. I don't even think you can do that anymore in that sport. I think the way the cap works, it's too punitive to do it. So we'll see if he listened from it. Definitely a thing, though. And anytime somebody ultra successful tries to go into that sports world and buy their way to championships, it usually fails.
Yeah, I think this is a thing. Sometimes, usually in the NBA, sports in general, but especially the NBA, in a trade, if you get the best player, you win the trade. But sometimes I think it's also true that you can have addition by subtraction. And Kevin Durant doesn't seem like the type of guy, as great of a player as he is, that he's going to help your team if he's not happy. It's just the way it is now, where guys just, if they're not happy, like, they're going to make it known, and they're not going to do all the little things that they need to. And Kevin Durant's a great player, one of the best offensive players we have ever seen in the sport. But I think there are times with him that if you get rid of him, it's better for your team. And there are some guys like that, unfortunately, now in sports. We'll see if this helps the Phoenix Suns or not in the long run. Because usually, like I said, especially in the NBA, if you don't get the best player in the trade, it doesn't work out for you.
Not normally, yeah. And the thing with him that's so crazy is how much the backlash of him going to Golden State all those years ago affected the way people view him and how he interacts with the public. Because he was one of the most likable, huggable players ever at Oklahoma City. Like, he actually did like a Space Jam type movie on Netflix called Thunder Up, where he's like, it's like a kid's movie where a kid steals his basketball powers. Like, that's how he was viewed. And then he goes to Golden State, and it's viewed as like a ring chaser and all of these things. They win the 2 titles. Then that ends poorly. And then he's just kind of been like a basketball vagabond for the last 5 or 6 years, bouncing around all over the place. And he's the best offensive player I've ever seen. Just offense. I don't know how you guard him.
In an interview published in Greece on Tuesday, Giannis Antetokounmpo told Sport24 that while he remains committed to Milwaukee, he could see himself getting dealt in the near future. Quote, look, I hope it never happens, but I'm expecting it too. Just because you've given a lot to the team doesn't mean the team won't do what's best for itself. It's not always the same owners, and when I say owners, the team presidents now, they're not the same as when we won the championship. It's someone else. Adding, quote, sure, if my head were in the clouds, I'd say, no way I get traded. I'm Giannis Antetokounmpo. Because I'm not in the clouds and I'm very normal, grounded, I say anything is possible. You never know. When that Luka trade happened, it wasn't just me who was shocked. Anyone who watches basketball was shocked. End quote. Thing or not a thing?
How old is he? Is he in his 30s now?
I want to say 30, 33 maybe.
Is he up there?
He's 30. He'll be 31 in December.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's a thing. Here's the thing that I think the thing that's tricky in sport, and I always use that phrase, you're not entitled to championships. This is the slippery slope you got to do if you're a program like Milwaukee. If you trade him, like, isn't it more valuable to have Giannis and have the championship that you won with him and all the fuzzy memories and the fun that having Giannis on the team is? Isn't that more fun than the platter of things you'd get back to try to chase yet another championship? Because even if you ace the test, and the Cleveland Cavaliers have aced the test, really twice, post-LeBron, they've aced it. They came out of the first LeBron departure with Kyrie Irving and assets and ability to woo him back. They came out of the second LeBron with Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, and they're right back, one of the best teams in the East. That is so hard to do. That is so tough to do. So if I'm Milwaukee, be careful on that slippery slope if you're going to consider trading that dude.
Well, I always think about something you say when you say even Wayne Gretzky got traded. Mm-hmm. And we were talking yesterday, he didn't just get traded. He got traded quite a lot. You know, he bounced around the league quite a lot. Yeah, I mean, the Luka trade stunned everyone. So Giannis would be crazy to think, you know, that someday he couldn't get traded. Like, it's pretty good perspective from him. Now, the question is, does Giannis want to be traded? Does he want to stay in Milwaukee, like he says, or would he rather go somewhere else?
It's a great question. That'll probably decide it, right? I would assume.
Yeah, it feels right now you can only take him by his word. So, but it would be... I'm trying to think of players who are absolutely untradeable in the NBA right now.
I think once Luka was traded, the answer to that, I mean, maybe Wemby.
Ant.
Maybe.
As of right now. I mean, even SGA was...
Yeah, I mean, he was traded. I think once the Luka thing happened, like, anything's possible. Like, who the hell would ever trade that guy?
Jokic, maybe?
Maybe.
Would Denver move on from
It's a
him?
small list, and it got smaller once they dealt Luka. The Lakers did.
Really small.
By the way, the best basketball player ever, according to Tyvis Powell, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
He doesn't mean that.
He says he does.
The commitment to the gimmick is strong in that one. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So we remember on Wednesday, David Fry, Guardians first baseman, was hit in the face with a 99-mile-per-hour fastball in the sixth inning of their win against the Tigers. He suffered multiple fractures to his face. He's expected to make a full recovery over the next 6 to 8 weeks. He does not need surgery. Again, this coming from the team. Fry was also discharged from the hospital and is resting comfortably at home. The Athletic reported that Tarek Skubal paid a visit to Fry in the hospital Tuesday night following the game. Skubal reportedly rode with Guardians manager Stephen Vogt, and they took the 4-mile trip east to be with Fry in the hospital Tuesday night. Thing or not a thing?
Oh, I mean, that's a massive thing. And Reese, I think you brought this point up yesterday when we were talking about the inning, that shook him.
Oh, that almost... You're a different player following something like that. And Scubal's a legit dude, like a legit human being. And yeah, you could see it. He threw his hat off. He walked off the mound, like almost just unconsolable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great job.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing that Skubal did there, going to visit him in the hospital. I saw a picture of this, like a still frame the other day, and it's just awful. Like his nose is going one way. It looks like a tooth is coming out. Like it is just, I mean, that is just so brutal. And it's kind of a miracle, as many baseball games are played, that we don't see that more often.
I think you're right. I think it's crazy that there aren't more, and I think it's crazy that more pitchers don't get it on the comeback. That's always surprising to me, that you don't see more of that. Final hour of the program coming up next. The voice of the Washington Huskies, Tony Castricone, going to join us at 11:30. We will attempt to beat the house coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Matty Ice here from McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. I recently bought a brand new Chevy Trax for McDaniel GM Superstore. It was by far the best car purchase I have ever made. And right now you can get a 2025 Trax at McDaniel GM Superstore for as low as $21,995. And with over 40 in stock, you know you'll find the perfect one for you. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. McDaniel GM Superstore, where great deals meet. A century of trust. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Ben Sadler, Assistant Vice President, Commercial Lending, on what makes First Bank of Central Ohio successful.
What we do as a community bank is really, listening to, that company, finding the solutions that best need their business, and is not just a universal product that you could get anywhere else.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. It's time to ditch the traffic jams and the rat race and take in that crisp morning air, the crackle of a warm campfire. With RCD RV's Fall Into Adventure Sale, you can. September 15th through the 30th, you can cozy up to incredible deals. Sale pricing on all remaining new 2025 models. And RCD has travel trailers starting under $12,995, as well as pre-owned motorhomes priced under $39,995. Visit one of our 3 locations: Delaware, Heath, Pataskala. Shop online anytime at rcdrv.com.
Get eco.
ECO. We come through for you when you need us to. Our scuba diving plumbers can do anything. Increase your water pressure. Give you unlimited hot water. Fix your drips and leaks. Soften your water so it doesn't leave spots. Install a whole house filter. Replace your shower heads and faucets so your house looks brand new. And provide you with winning lottery numbers.
Get eco.
ECO. They cannot provide you with winning lottery numbers. I can. Tell us. 3, 21, 24, 34, 46. That's $103 million. Those numbers will be this week's winners? No, those were the winning numbers a month ago.
Get Eco.
ECO.
But EcoFi Advantage is a guaranteed winner.
For just $28 a month, EcoFi Advantage covers all 3 systems.
Plumbing, electrical, and HVAC.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Scuba diving plumbers, genius electricians, and incredibly handsome HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
This sports report is brought to you by Bet365. When it comes to sportsbooks, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be located in Ohio.
Script Ohio necklaces, Blocko earrings, Ohio State bangles, and more. You'll find an exclusive collection of luxury Buckeye jewelry you'll love at the Diamond Cellar, starting at $99. Show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Number 1 Ohio State heads to Seattle later today in advance of Saturday's matchup against 3-0 Washington. It'll be a 3:30 p.m. kick from Husky Stadium. Washington has won their last 20 home games. That's the second longest streak in the country. Hear from Ohio State's head coach today at noon on the Ryan Day radio show. In the NFL, Week 4 begins tonight in Arizona. The Cardinals host the Seahawks at 8:15. You can hear that one on the Fan tonight following the Buckeye show. In baseball, the Reds host the Pirates today at 12:40. You can hear that one over on the Fan, too. That's 1460 on the AM dial. Cincinnati's one back of the Mets in the NL Wild Card. And in golf, the 45th Ryder Cup begins tomorrow morning at Bethpage Black. Friday's first foursome match begins at 7:10. This update's sponsored by Behind the O. Buckeye fans, Behind the O is now in the App Store. Free for fans, NIL for athletes. Download Behind the O in the App Store today.
Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a Thursday edition of the program. Tony Castricone, the voice of the Washington Huskies and a fan alumnus, is going to join us in 28 minutes. Time now, though, to beat the house.
Beat the house.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Visit their Grandview, Gahanna, and Westerville locations to experience the best in craft dining and distilling. Learn more at highbankco.com.
All right, Bo, a very nice week for you as you went 10-6 last week. You're 26-22 now on the year. Reese, another 7-9 week for you. You are now 22-26 so far on the season.
It's just where I'm going to live, 7-9 for the rest of the year.
You had all the good last
year.
year.
Every week. All of it was 2024. 50 games above 500. Now it'll be like 40 games under.
Just keep dropping that record from last year, Reese.
That's what I'll do. Hang on to the past. I'm Nebraska.
Last year I was 50 games over.
Reese is a museum picker.
Let's get it started tonight. Our Thursday night football game takes us to the NFC West. The Seattle Seahawks travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. The Cardinals, a home dog tonight. They are getting 1.5 points.
I'm actually kind of looking forward to this one. I haven't seen much of these two teams this year, and so kind of looking forward to seeing what they're both all about. Here's what I do think, though, going into this one. I think Seattle is legitimately good. I think Darnold's played really well. I think they got a lot of weapons. Defensively, they're on the come, and I just don't trust what Arizona is offensively at the moment. So give me Seattle, and I will throw the 1.5. I like the Seahawks tonight.
Yeah, I'd take Seattle by almost a touchdown in this. I think Seattle's a really good team. I think Arizona's going to do a lot of sputtering early on in the season. I think they get it figured out. Like I do think Arizona is in the playoff chase for a while, but that doesn't come till later.
We have our first overseas game Sunday morning. It takes place in Dublin. The Minnesota Vikings taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Vikings are the favorites, laying 2.5.
Yeah, give me the Steelers here. I don't think the Vikings are great offensively with Carson Wentz.
I hate these Ireland, England games. You just never know what you're going to get from them. I mean, that's a very interesting number. Vikings by 2.5 with Wentz. Defensively, though, Minnesota is lights out. I'm with you, though. I'm going to roll with you. I think Pittsburgh finds a way to get to 3-1. I like Pittsburgh, and I'll take the 2.5.
The 1 o'clock slate on Sunday has the Cleveland Browns heading up north to Detroit to take on the Lions. Big number here again for the Browns. The home favorite Lions by 9.5 points.
I just think it's a little too much. I do think that the Browns defense is that good. It's the best defense in the NFL. This is ifs, but if they take care of the ball the way that they didn't in Baltimore, they should be able to hang around in this game. And so give me Cleveland, and I'll take the 9.5.
I mean, we're talking Cleveland against Detroit the past couple of days. So far, so good. I think the Lions win this, but I think they're coming off, a Monday nighter. I think there's going to be a little, is lethargy the word I want to use here? They win. Sure. Browns cover.
All right, you guys through 3 games are the same. I don't like that. The Commanders are in Atlanta to take on the Falcons, and the Falcons are an underdog at home. The Commanders laying 1.5.
It's because the Falcons stink. I think we're in that territory.
Well, they did last week, that's for sure.
Give me the Commanders.
So this is Mariota, right?
I think so.
That's what this line tells me. It's Mariota.
Yeah, they haven't said for sure. I know Daniels was not at practice yesterday. They thought maybe he would be today.
Okay. Let's just do this on this because I just want this on the record. If Daniels plays Washington, if he doesn't, I think Atlanta's just weird enough. They beat Minnesota 2 weeks ago. For some reason, lay an egg, fire a receivers coach. If it's not Daniels, though, I like Atlanta. I like Atlanta to win.
See, that's what I'm thinking with Atlanta. Things don't go well offensively, so we're going to fire the receivers coach, and then we're going to move the offensive coordinator down to the field.
Yeah.
This is a huge line, guys. New Orleans is in Buffalo to take on the Bills, and the Bills are giving the Saints 15.5 points.
You don't see them this big very often. New Orleans, for all of their struggles, and they are mighty, they were competitive the first couple of weeks. I think they're starting to run out of gas, though. The question is, on any time you see a number like this, will Buffalo continue to bury them? I think that they will. I'll take Buffalo to win this one going away, something like 34-14 or something like that. It's a lot of points. I usually don't like doing that, but I will in this instance.
No, I thought it was pretty simple. Just take the Bills here.
The Carolina Panthers, off of their big win against Atlanta, head to New England to take on the Patriots. The Patriots are the favorites at home by 5.5.
Yeah, I think the Patriots win this, but I think Carolina's pesky, so give me the Panthers to cover that 5.5.
So I'm going to do apply the same logic to Carolina that I applied to Atlanta. It's one up, one down. They can't have nice things. So I like New England to cover the 5.5. A little bit of a breakout game for that offense. Drake May's been playing better.
The Chargers heading east to New York to take on the Giants. The Chargers still 6.5-point favorites, though.
Everything in me says, well, yeah, they're starting a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, Jackson Dart.
What are we doing? But here's the problem. 70% of the bets are on the Chargers. Jackson Dart, frisky Giants, good defense, cross-country trip. Give me the Giants to cover the 6.5.
Yeah, for this purpose, no Chargers, no. Give me the Giants plus the 6.5, but give me the Chargers to win.
This one should be a good one, I would think. The Eagles down in Tampa to take on the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are the home dog. 3.5 points they are getting.
Is it both teams last Sunday on the opposite sides of field goal block city?
Mm-hmm.
I think another field goal comes down to it. Give me the Eagles to win, but the Buccaneers cover that 3.5.
I see it the same way you do. I could actually see Tampa Bay winning this. I think the Eagles have been playing with fire for the last couple of weeks. The Rams really dominated that game for most of it. Philly's also without both of their edge rushers in this game, so I like the Buccaneers to cover 3.5 and potentially even win that one.
I would think this, without a doubt, is the worst football we will see all weekend. The Tennessee Titans heading to their old stomping grounds of Houston to take on the Texans. The Texans are favored by 7.5.
If this is me, I think it is. There's no scenario where Houston's 7.5 better than anybody. They're just not. So I think it's a gross game, but I think Cam Ward makes a couple of plays. Houston wins, but Tennessee keeps it within a touchdown.
Yeah, we're betting this for funsies. Don't actually put money on this, and if you do, call the hotline, 1-800-GAMBLER. Give me Houston to finally get their first win of the season. But yeah, they win by a touchdown, nothing more.
All right, let's head to that 4:05 slate. The Indianapolis Colts in Los Angeles to take on the Rams. The Rams are the home favorites. They are giving 3.5.
They say ram it all day, except not for Sunday. Give me the Colts plus the 3.5.
I'm going opposite here. I think Rams are legit really good. I think they take care of business this one. Indy comes down. I still think Indy's nice, but I think that this Rams team, I think I had them in our top 3, one of my 3 favorite teams so far this season, so I like the Rams, and I'll throw the 3.5.
Jaguars head to the left coast to take on the San Francisco 49ers. The home team, 3.5-point favorites.
So what you said about Tennessee-Houston, I would apply to this one. I wouldn't go anywhere near this. I don't have any idea on San Francisco, but now Bosa's out. Is it Mac Jones again? Is he's still going? Is that where we're at with this? I don't know what to make of this one. I think it's going to be an ugly game. Gross. The hook bugs me, so I'm going to go Jacksonville, and I'll take the points.
Yeah, before the segment, I did a live flip. So not so live, but kind of live because it was in commercial. Give me the Jaguars plus the 3.5.
4:25, the Baltimore Ravens in Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. I'm guessing the Chiefs aren't dogs at home very often, but they are this Sunday, 2.5 points.
Short week for the Ravens. The football Wizards wearing red. Give me Kansas City here.
Yeah, Mahomes. I know we keep going back to this, like, whatever Mahomes, whatever, but like 80% of the public is on Baltimore in this. 80%. And that was kind of my thinking was, gosh, Baltimore, they'll get up for it, but so too will Kansas City. By the way, whoever loses this game's 1-3, which is unfathomable. They're both going to be fine, whichever one is. There's no panic, I don't think, for either one of them. But I like the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs getting the win.
I don't love the football in this game either. The Bears in Las Vegas taking on the Raiders. The Bears are the favorites by 1.5.
God bless you on this. This same, what I said about 49ers here. No idea. My hunch is that what the Chicago Bears did offensively was real. I think at best it'll be a slight Raiders home crowd, but there will be a lot of Bears fans there as well. It's such a popular trip. Give me Caleb Williams and the Chicago offense, and I'll throw the 1.5.
Same.
Sunday Night Football takes us to Jerry World. The Cowboys hosting the Green Bay Packers. Again, the Cowboys dogs at home, 6.5 points Green Bay is giving.
Yeah, I'll take the Packers to win, but give me the Cowboys plus the 6.5.
Okay, this is the most the house is on one team. It's 90% of the money. I'm sorry, with the public. 90% of the public money is with Green Bay.
Wow.
90%.
That's a
when
lot.
I see that, opposite. Because you look at this, you go, well, wait a second. Micah coming home, no CeeDee Lamb. What in the hell are the Cowboys going to do? This doesn't even make any sense. And everybody sees it that way. So I'm going opposite. I'm going to fade the public. Give me the Cowboys to cover the 6.5.
And then we've got another Monday night doubleheader. Of course, we will pick those on Monday, but it's 7:15. You've got the Jets at the Dolphins, and right now the Dolphins are 2.5-point favorites. And then at 8:15 on Monday, the Bengals out in Denver to take on the Broncos. The Broncos 7.5-point home favorites.
Does anybody like Monday night doubleheaders?
Here's what happens with me. I just usually end up watching the first game.
I don't like them when they're this close. I don't mind the spread out, like when they start one earlier and then later.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we're not going to be up watching the later one the whole way through. This is too close, though, to me.
So the one at the Cincinnati game's at 9:30. Is that what you said?
No, 8:15.
Oh, 8:15. Oh, so they're barely staggered.
They're just an hour apart start time.
Oh, no, I don't like that. I like them 6 and 9. If you go 6 and 9, then I get a chance.
Well, that's what Reese will do with his picks. Oh, 7 and 9.
7 and 9.
Me.
I mean, might as well be 6 and 9. What does it matter? None of this matters.
Speaking of not mattering at this point, a bunch of bosses met around college football and what to do with the sport. We'll give you the details on it coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic. Oh, yes. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
At Giant Eagle, we're here because being part of the neighborhood matters. Because what we pick up at the store is what we bring into our lives. At Giant Eagle, we're always going for better to bring you the best. Because it matters.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, save on new 2025 Sonatas with 0% financing for 60 months. 0% while supplies last. Columbus or Dublin or glexhyundai.com.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no! Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Proper tree care is an investment that can lead to substantial returns and increased personal enjoyment. Hiring a certified arborist can help care for your trees and prevent storm damage. Inspections by Ohio ISA certified arborists can often find and mitigate tree defects before they fail. Only professionals with specialized knowledge and training are properly equipped to provide appropriate care. To find an arborist, visit trees4ohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Chances of rain becoming a little bit more isolated going into the day today. Otherwise, expected to be partly to mostly cloudy with highs in the upper 70s. For tonight, turning partly cloudy overnight and cooler with our lows in the 50s. And then we end the work week with a little bit more sunshine and much drier weather. Daytime highs will top out in the upper 70s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvis weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, The Fan. The uncle you never knew you had. The friends you kind of wish you didn't. This is Bishop and Friends.
Oh, baby, this time of year, especially once this rain gets out of the way, that crisp morning air, the leaves crunching under your boots, the crackle of a warm campfire. Camping is pure magic this time of year. You're ready to get outdoors. I know that you are. You know that you are. And that's where my friends at RCD RV come in. Their Fall Into Adventure sale is on now. It ends in 5 days, but there's still time for you to cozy up to incredible deals on all remaining 2025 models. It's simple to picture yourself by that campfire, the autumn leaves, the planned perfect Halloween camping trip in your new RV. You're ready for it. They're ready to serve you. Visit one of the locations, Delaware, Heath, Pataskala. Shop online anytime at rcdrv.com. Don't miss these fall savings at RCD RV. You have until the 30th. Get it done. Let me ask you guys a question. What is the motivation for the Big Ten in the SEC, and I guess tangentially the ACC and the Big 12? Why do they include Notre Dame in this stuff? Why do they give them a seat at the table? What is the point? Wednesday, 10 FBS conference commissioners and Notre Dame's athletic director gathered in Chicago for their annual fall college football playoff meeting. Now, we'll get into what was discussed, but largely this is just one trial balloon after another to see how much the public will take or what the appetite for it is. But why is Notre Dame invited in this? Why do they continue to allow them a seat at the table?
NBC.
You think?
It's like one of those things like, well, you got to go, but you got to take your brother. Like, you can have this meeting, but you got to let Notre Dame in. Because NBC's in bed with the Big Ten.
Well, you heard what they tried to do yesterday, right?
What's this now?
With Netflix.
So
the way I understand it, they tried to play the USC Notre Dame game. USC actually tried to hoodwink the Big Ten a little bit, the way I understand it. USC tried playing the Notre Dame game on a neutral field so that USC could sell the rights to the game to Netflix. The Big Ten got wind of it because the game is in Los Angeles and said, actually, no, you're not going to do that. We paid for that game, and that's a Big Ten game, and we're going to have the broadcast rights. But USC tried to kind of go behind the conference's back and create another additional revenue stream from Netflix.
Boot 'em.
Can appreciate the hustle.
What are they bringing to the table? Boot 'em.
The LA market. Silly bake.
We got UCLA. We're in LA.
We're in LA.
I just that's going to live on forever for him. He's a hell of a football player too, but he's probably going to be remembered for that. I just don't understand why Notre Dame keeps getting a seat at the table. I really don't get it. You're probably right. It's probably NBC, or maybe it's just like, the Line and Anchorman. It's the pancake breakfast. We do it every month. Maybe it's just that simple. Like, we've always introduced them, and so we've always invited them. So why stop now? But to me, the Big Ten would like to have Notre Dame in the league. They're the most logical team to add in every way. You have all their rivals that they would want to play. You could play a 9-game schedule pretty easily and get them. I mean, their every year opponents could be Purdue. How many do we got? You can save 3. They can play Purdue. Obviously, USC would be one of them. And if you want it to be Michigan or Michigan State, whoever they've played the most, that can be the third one. But to me, like, now would be the time to force them in. Is right now. So stop inviting them to this stuff. Stop giving them a say in this stuff. By the way, the ACC wants them in. The ACC has been playing nice with them for a decade and vice versa with this, here's our 5 games. I really don't know what happens there. The ACC is going to 9 conference games. I don't know what happens to Notre Dame in that regard. Do their 5 games that they get every year from the ACC, are those conference games for them? Are they conference games for the ACC teams? Or are there enough teams that's their 10th metric game of a Power 4 team? Is Notre Dame the answer to that test over and over again? Folks, they're not scheduled against USC after next year. So their scheduling conundrum is coming quick.
That's what I just keep thinking about, like USC trying to get Notre Dame. And they announced that schedule next year, and they announced them all games in the Coliseum or Netflix only.
That's what they were trying to take it out of the Coliseum. They were trying to get a loophole.
Oh, the neutral site game. That's right.
Yeah, they were trying to play it at like SoFi or Vegas or something like that so that they could take it out and it was a neutral site game and that they could sell it. And the Big Ten got wind of it and said no.
Because Notre Dame would never, ever allow that. If it was going to be in South Bend, it's going to be on NBC.
Yeah. Yeah. So they don't have to do it now because of that NBC contract. But if they don't have people to play, I wonder when let me get the MIT kids to look into this. When is the Notre Dame NBC deal up?
Did they just re-sign, or did they just come to an agreement, an extension?
So it's through the 2029 season.
Oh, they're all kind of up around 2030.
So basically the whole sport, except for the ACC, which is a bunch of bozos, is all up around that time. 2029, 2030. That's when, and by the way, if you think the money that they're getting now is big, just you wait. So that, when you hear, and there were some comments from the Minnesota athletic director last week about this, when people start talking about more Big Ten expansion, it will be timed up to that, to 2029.
If I'm the Big Ten, like, this is a selling point right now to kind of force their hand, right? Like, you can keep your NBC deal because we're in bed with NBC.
Yep.
It's perfect. You come here, you've got a lot of your rivals. You can still play Stanford out of conference or Boston College every year. That can be your 10th Power 4 game. Like, come on. This all needs to end when we go to this model of 16 or even more that they're talking about with all these automatic qualifiers. That's when this ends, because it's like you don't have a seat at this table anymore. You're not getting in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Without this, you have to join a conference because we're doing this with Power 4 conferences and all of that, and you're out. You're cooked.
I love Marcus Freeman. I love a lot about that brand. My kids are Catholic. I think the funniest damn thing ever is if the Big Ten made them come in as a discount. Not full TV money.
Well, the problem is they won't do that because everybody wants them.
No, I understand, but like if they had no other choice. Like they can't go to the SEC. That doesn't make any damn sense. The ACC is the only other one, but you really want to play Wake Forest and Duke and North Carolina over playing USC? Like, come on. What are we doing? In terms of this is why this is much ado about nothing. So they all met. Here's what I think's going on. And Ross Dellinger has some incredible reporting on this, and most of it centers around, hey, we're not thinking 12. We're not even thinking 16. What about 28 and 32? And hell, let's have a playoff that goes until March. Let's play football all the time because everyone's trying to find money, and it's all nonsense. Here's what this is. This is leak this stuff out so that all of you can wrap your head around and be accepting of a 16-team playoff. I think that's what this is. There's no path for 28 or 32 the season would never end at that point. You can't do that. So in my view, what this is about is getting everybody on board with 16, because that is I don't even like 12. I think 8 would have been perfect. I thought 4 was good. 2 was even fine with me. But going all the way to this, There's not enough time in the calendar to make this work.
We've already accepted it, though, haven't? Like, even
No,
if
I
we
don't think
don't
32.
Even if we don't like it, no, 16. Like, even if we don't like it, all of us have said that's where it's heading.
Yeah, maybe. At least with that, you get rid of the buys. So I've always liked even numbers. I don't like the buys in it. So if that meant that I didn't have to deal with buys for teams, then I guess I would be for that. But even still, if you go anywhere beyond it, you run out of time in the calendar. And so I think that's what this is mostly about. The Big Ten officials are publicly and privately leading the charge for expansion. They want a more NFL-like postseason. This guy's driving me nuts, this Tony Petitti guy. A move to limit the subjectivity of the selection committee. They want the automatic qualifiers is what the Big Ten wants. Stop complaining about it. You're going to get them. The committee did you right last year. They're going to keep doing you right.
So from Dellinger's reporting, in the latest socialized concept, all 4 power leagues would be granted the same number of auto bids, perhaps 3 or 4, with 1 or 2 spots designated for the Sun Belt, Pac-12, Mountain West, Conference USA, American Athletic, and Mid-American.
I got news for you. The gap between the haves and the have-nots in that regard is going to get bigger by the year.
You don't need to.
Let's not have a regular season. Let's just do a big playoff. Everybody play, and let's have a big playoff.
Start October 1st. We're going to do a 32-team playoff. Your season's over October 1st. That's what we're going to do.
The socialized concept would have conference championship games taken away.
Well, you got to do that.
Good luck.
Because you're running out of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just it's trial balloon with a much different motive underneath it is kind of my view of that. One of the things that this league has benefited from tremendously is the expansion out west, because the football programs are pretty damn good at Oregon and it's pretty damn good at Washington. We'll get some perspective on that with our buddy Tony Castricone, the voice of the Huskies, coming up in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, red, green, or black seedless grapes are on sale for only $1.77 a pound with your digital coupon. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Fall is here. The leaves are changing, football's on TV, and family time by the bonfire feels just right. Before it gets even colder, now's the time to make sure your home is ready for what lies ahead. For over 3 decades, homeowners across Central Ohio have turned to Newman Roofing for reliable roofing, siding, and gutter work that stands the test of time. From your very first call, you'll talk with a real person who's happy to walk you through the process. Your estimator won't push you, just explain what's going on with your home and share solutions that make sense for you. And when the work begins, a dedicated job supervisor makes sure every detail meets Newman Roofing standards. Don't just take our word for it. Check out the hundreds of 5-star Google reviews from families right here in Columbus who chose Newman Roofing and couldn't be happier. Appointments are filling fast for fall installations, so don't wait. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today. Let Newman Roofing handle your to-do list so you can get back to the things and the people that matter most. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online today at newmanroofing.com.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, lease 2 Elantras for $222. That's right, lease 2 new 2025 Elantra SEs for just $222 a month for a 2-year lease. Both your new Elantras come with owner assurance and America's Best Warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage in Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.99 down per unit plus taxes, fees, 30-month payment, 10K miles per year, ends 9/30.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. First Friday miracles are always better with Uncle Bo. This is Bishop and Friends.
Bucks out at UW on Saturday, making the plane ride out there today. For perspective behind enemy lines, a great friend of the program and a great friend of here at the Fan, a Fan alumnus, now the voice of the Washington Huskies. He's a great Tony Castricone. He joins us on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. 22 straight wins at home. Give me a little bit of temperature out in the Pacific Northwest on the anticipation for this one on Saturday, bud.
Yeah, people are pretty excited. I think the home winning streak is obviously a big deal, and people know it's not going to last forever. But it's just super unique for number one to even play in this stadium. It's only happened 4 times before. It hasn't happened in 18 years. 3 of the previous meetings were USC, and the 4th, actually Ohio State, back in 1969, with that great team that was coming off a national championship in '68. So I think it's a really rare instance to have a shot at the number 1 team in the country on your home turf. And it's year 2 of a rebuild. I mean, this program was gutted pretty heavily after the national championship game. The coaching change, the losses in the transfer portal. Jed Fish has done a miraculous job of helping this rebound be as quick as possible. But people understand it's still just year 2 of the rebuild. So this is a tall task. But they're very energized and very excited for it.
It's like the ultimate barometer, right? For Jed in year 2. Let's see where we're at.
Barometer is a great word. I've been saying litmus test. This is exactly what you want early in the season because, they've absolutely steamrolled through the first 3 opponents, and we've seen a lot of good Husky football teams here over the years that didn't perform that well against their non-conference opponents. You can say what you want about the cupcake nature of the teams they happen to have scheduled, whatever it was, 4 or 5 years ago, but the bottom line is that's who was on your schedule, and a lot of teams don't average 55 points per game against that. In fact, only one other team in the country has averaged 55 points a game, regardless of opponent. So that's the really exciting matchup here. Number 2 scoring offense in the country in Washington, Damond Williams, electrifying quarterback, another one of those guys that the head coach thinks could be a Heisman Trophy candidate. Him going up against what really has looked like the number 1 defense in the country. Matt Patricia's done an incredible job so far in his time at Ohio State, and so what gives on Saturday? We'll find out.
Yeah, and you mentioned Williams, and I think it's such a cool story because, in this era, and, Ohio State benefited from it, and heck, UW's benefited from it. You go in the portal, you find your guy, and they come in, and a little bit of a mercenary, you come in, you play a season, sometimes 2, and you try to leave a mark. This is a kid who was recruited there, who got some spot duty last year and now this year has really established himself. Just for our audience, his start, 74% completion, 6 touchdowns, no picks. He's done all of it, and he definitely has the attention of this Buckeye defense. What can you tell me about him, the player, the person, and in terms of the spot for him on Saturday?
Yeah, 19 years old, 5'11", so he doesn't have that Will Howard or Michael Penix stature that you automatically prototypically think NFL quarterback. But, man, just a dynamic player who's got the fastest cut that I've ever seen in a quarterback. His straight line speed would make the track coach really happy, but his ability to shift with a simple plant is phenomenal. And so when you think of dual threat quarterbacks, I don't know why we think this way, but we automatically think the running thing is the better thing that they do. But his arm is very, very strong, insanely accurate, and it's his decision-making that Jed Fish just absolutely loves. And he was telling me a story on the coaches show earlier this week. Jed was at Arizona, and this is a kid who was in the state of Arizona. He was being recruited to Arizona. Mm-hmm. When Jed takes the job, he says, hey, you want to come to Washington in less than 24 hours? And Damond Williams says, yes, you got me. I'm in. But Jed has said even from high school, like from age 15, 16, he's just seen a decision-making ability in this kid that is exceptionally rare. He doesn't turn over the football. I think his last 2 years of high school football, 62 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's just a very good decision maker, and I think that's the difference maker, where some people might get scared and sneak out of the pocket early, where some people might go for the home run shot and try to thread the needle. He's happy to take the checkdowns to Jonah Coleman, to take the tight end underneath, to really hang in there and wait for the last minute because he's got such trust in his legs. I think that's what makes him different.
And this team is so much more than just him. You mentioned Coleman, Boston, too. I'm looking at the Buckeye schedule, maybe Penn State, and we'll see what happens with Michigan at the end of the year in terms of a triumvirate of offensive talent. But Williams, Coleman, Boston, it's certainly on a very short list of the most challenging offensive weaponry the Buckeyes are going to face all season.
Yeah, Bo, I don't want to bust your chops too much, but I remember in the season preview, 20 most interesting teams, you guys said, other than Coleman, is there anybody on this roster that we want? I don't know. By the way, I've shared that with a few people. But,
well, come on now. You coming for me, man. I mean, I'm getting strays from the Pacific Northwest. I got family out there.
Oh, man, I'm sorry for the friendly fire. I know you love it out here. But the truth of the matter is it's a very good roster. And, I think and to give, I think the thing that is the chip on the shoulder of a lot of this team is here they are at 3-0 having obliterated 3 opponents, and they don't even have a single AP vote. And so I think both of those stories are just a little insight into how hard it is in 2025 with the transfer portal, with guys moving around. You just can't really understand what's on these rosters for 136 FBS teams. It's just too much to get your arms around. So you really don't know how good teams are going to be. That's why we've seen like the likes of Clemson, just completely fall from number 4. We've seen Florida State go from 13 wins to 2 to back up in the top 10, because in this era, this stuff changes in a hurry. Life comes at you fast. And so I think Washington's got a really good roster. The offense ahead of schedule. I think it's the defense that probably is, they're still in that depth building process. They've got really good talent on that side of the ball, but it's the depth they're trying to build there.
Tone, to be totally fair on everything, I think it was earlier this week, went on a pretty decent rant about Washington not receiving votes. So if we can save that for the Sheldon family in Bellevue and we can get that out to you, you can play it on your pregame show. That would be great, just to make sure that everyone still likes me out there. That'd be appropriate and appreciated. You mentioned the defense, and this is Julian Saint's first road start. He's been exceptional through 3 games. I charted his passes. His first 40 passes were all accurate. He's thrown like 2 inaccurate balls all season long, but this is different. What can you tell me about the challenge the venue will provide, and then how the Huskies will try to handle him?
Well, for 31 years, it was the loudest any college football stadium's ever gotten. And now I know for a fact that there's not decibel readers at every single college football game. But those cantilever roofs that are built to protect the rain, plus aluminum all the way throughout for 70,000 seats, they're not just passionate. It's not just the voices clanging off the metal and the water right there, but they use their hands, they use their feet, they stomp. That place gets unbelievably loud for a big game. And so, not that I'm trying to give Ohio State any advice, but I'm sure that they're working on all their silent counts and timing and everything all week. And for a true freshman quarterback, it's just going to take a whole lot of practice and discipline to have that on point. Communication is going to be very difficult when Ohio State's offense has the football. And I think, when you're talking about challenge for the personnel, Washington has 2 very good, very long, tall corners in Sicario Davis and Ephesians Price-Hawk. Sicario Davis a bit banged up. He's a game-time decision. That is going to be huge for Washington to be at its fullest on the defensive side of the ball. But it's the edge rushers that I think have really done a great job of getting after the quarterback. Zach Durfee had, I think, 11 quarterback pressures, according to PFF, a week ago, in really affecting Washington State's quarterback. And then on the other end, you're going to have Jacob Lane, a local kid who's just been awesome. I mean, this is again, on defense, you're looking at, they are still trying to build depth, and they've got some injuries, and they're coming along on that side. But saying, to your point, he is very accurate. His turnovers against Ohio University were deflections, were people hitting his arm. It's those kind of things that I think Ryan Walters, who's a DC who knows how to coach turnovers up, they're really going to be trying to go for the strips and those sort of things in order to try to get the job done.
Tone, I'll get you out of here on this one. And obviously, I know your employer, so I'm not going to have you pick it. But would you be surprised if this wasn't a 4-quarter game?
I would. Yeah, I'd be surprised. I think Ohio State is an unbelievably healthy college football program right now, and they've got absolutely everything going for them. But in the history of Husky Stadium, there have been Washington teams that have been all-time college football greats, and there have been dry spells, or there have been the rebuilding seasons. It's a program that's been very up and down with really high highs over the last 30 to 40 years. But there's always that one game that says Washington is back. In 1990, it was the win over number 3 USC, where Todd Marinovich said, "All I saw was purple." 31-0 shutout. In 2022, it was number 11 Michigan State. We know that wasn't that good of a Michigan State team, but they came in here and Washington just buzzsawed them, right? Mm-hmm. And that was the we're back game. And I know that Husky Nation is kind of looking at this as, you said it great, it's a barometer. Are we back yet? And with a win, Washington has the opportunity to immediately say, we are indeed not unranked. We are indeed a college football playoff team, and that's what's on the line for the Huskies.
Going to be a fun one, buddy. Enjoy the call. I know that you will. Thanks for your time.
Hey, guys. Appreciate you. Go Dogs.
All right, there he goes, the voice of the Washington Huskies, Tony Castricone on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Get you 3 things on a Thursday. Up next, Bishop and Fred's right here on the Fan.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
The Daily Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is the Daily Show with Coach Ryan Day, brought to you by Safe Flat Auto Glass. As you get ready for your first away game, and we've talked about this before, but what is involved in planning, practice time, meeting time, all of the things that come with being away from home?
Well, the beginning part of the week is the same. The routine is the routine, which is something that we have to make sure we're mastering. But for us, we are leaving Thursday, and this is something that we've changed, and the mindset of, if it's one time zone, we're going to leave a day early. If it's 2 time zones, we're going to leave 2 days earlier, and go from there. A little bit like we did sort of in the Rose Bowl and the Cotton Bowl, leaving a couple of days early. Won't exactly be the same, but very similar. And so we're going to finish our Thursday routine here, get on the plane, and then head out to Seattle. Once we get there, we'll get to sort of acclimated, and then go through our typical Friday, wake up and play the game.
Okay, we'll have another comment in just a moment. Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safe Light Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at SafeLight.com. Safe Light Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Coach, also going into your first away game, decisions on who's going to be part of the travel roster. Just how does all of that come together?
Well, we go through the same process at home, although we're not limited to traveling 74. We go through the process so that everybody understands when it's time to go on the road and conference play, and we're limited to 74. That guys understand there's only a certain amount of people that can get on the trip. So we've done this already, so we feel like we know who the travel squad would be, save a couple guys because of special teams or injuries. And so what we need to do is we need to have at least 2 at every position. Some we need 3. Some positions we say we need a pair and a spare to make sure that we're not short when we get on a trip.
Yeah, this is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Toyota has more all-wheel drive or electrified hybrid choices than anyone else, like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through September 30th, get a new 25 Highlander or Grand Highlander with 4.75 APR financing. Or you can get 5.75 APR financing on hybrid models with approved credit through TFS. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays are for football. That's why we're here to help you get your next DIY project done, even when the clock isn't on your side. Whether that's a new Filtrete filter or Bosch and Cobalt power tools, Lowe's has everything you need to feel like the MVP of DIY. So get it done and earn your Sunday. Shop now, in-store and online. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
If you say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what do we have on the poll today?
Daily Fan Poll asks, who do you think wins tonight's Thursday night football matchup in Arizona between the Seahawks and the Cardinals? 79% of respondents say the Seahawks.
Now that makes me want to rethink my pick. I didn't even look at the money on that one where it went out. No, I'm good. All right, 3 things on a Thursday. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
Number 1 for me, this one from Matt on social. Listening to this interview, I can't help but feel like, oh, that's cute. He thinks that. I know a ton of Buckeyes heading west. I think Washington is get their welcome to the Big Ten or welcome to Ohio State moment this weekend. Normally, Matt, I would agree with you, but that is an incredibly proud program. I think it'll most similarly be aligned with what we saw last year at Oregon. You'll see the Buckeye contingent in there, but I think Washington will hold on to their seats, and I do think it'll be very, very loud. That place, it is one of the loudest in the sport for a reason. That reputation is well earned. I think that don't underestimate how big and how prideful that program is.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of purple, and it should be because it's what makes for one of the better college football environments in the country. So I think everybody's in for a really fun time on Saturday, whether you're there in Seattle or you're on a boat. Like there's that sailgate thing that's sold out for Pacific Northwest Ohio State alums. Mm-hmm. The CEO of Live Nation, Michael Rapino, is telling us, or trying to tell us, that in fact concert tickets aren't all that expensive. Quote, music's been underappreciated. In sports, I joke it's like a badge of honor to spend $70,000 for Nick's courtside seat. They'd beat me up if we charged $800 for Beyonce. The cost has gone up on everything, so we have to pay more. And we will pay more.
Yeah, I mean, you know why they're charging it? Because you're paying it.
Yeah.
Stop paying it, they'll stop charging it.
First thing for me, I saw the Monday Night Football ratings for the Lions-Ravens last week, and it was astronomical, 22.8 million. It makes it the 4th most watched Monday Night Football game ever, and it's ESPN's most watched Week 3 Monday Night Football game ever. Live sports continues to kill.
Yeah, it's undefeated, and it's gonna continue to be more and more leveraged in carriage disputes and apps and everything else, and so it's a world we're quite familiar with at this point. Number 2 for me, day 1 of youth basketball tryouts. We did the 3rd and 5th graders last night. A 5th grader came in to register in a Michigan number 2 jersey and Michigan shorts.
Get out.
So he was really nervous, like you could tell, like he was very nervous about the tryout. So he came up and I said, he was with his mom. His mom was really sweet. And I said, I got good news and bad news. The good news is, here's your number for tryouts. And because we don't want anyone to know who any kid is. So they just are assigned numbers. There's no last names, no nothing. So just numbers. And then the high school coach and his staff go through the tryouts and they evaluate them. And so here's your number. I said, the bad news is I'm allergic to those colors. And so I cannot put it on you physically. Which he gave a little laugh to, and the mom gave a laugh to, and so that's a win. So I think I handled that in about as adult way as I could have. I was tempted to just say kindly leave, but, he's 10, so I didn't.
I feel like that's a bad parenting job.
You're certainly setting him up for a little bit of ribbing.
Life is hard enough as a kid, I'm sure. You don't need to do much to make it harder. In kind of that same token, the guy that caught Cal Raleigh's 60th home run ball last night gave it to a kid in the stands.
Nice.
So there's the video out there if you're in need of a pick-me-up today of the kid being escorted by security out and just the complete look of surprise and thrill on his face. Then the fans gave that fan a standing ovation. So good job by everybody there.
Really cool.
Guys, second thing for me earlier this week, I said I wasn't jumping back on until they were in the playoffs.
Uh-oh.
This is exactly why. These last two games against the Pirates, I've seen this movie before. I've read this book before. I feel like I know the ending. I'm just protecting my heart, guys. I can't go through another heartbreak with one of my teams. So, Cincinnati Reds, again, I'm pulling for you. I'll be back at the end of the season if you're there.
Number 3 for me. I don't do much of the landscaping. Well, and when I say much, I really don't do any of the landscaping. But one thing that I do enjoy doing here at Fort Bishop is I do enjoy blowing leaves. There's something so satisfying to me about clearing a space of lawn or clearing a sidewalk. So I got one of these hyped up blowers. It's got the backpack. I'll go out there and blow that sucker around. Buddy Garrity chases it. He thinks it's the most fun ever. I love blowing leaves. Undefeated.
Second thing for me, because you hear that music, Ryan Day shows up next. The Reds are playing the Pirates, looking to avoid the sweep and stay in the NL wildcard. They're in a delay right now at the Great American Ballpark. But after the Ryan Day show, you'll be able to hear Reds Pirates over on the Fan, too. That's 1460 on the AM dial.
A delay, and they haven't even started. Again, like you said, that music means one thing. The Ryan Day show coming up next.
You have that to look forward to, which is very, very nice. We're back tomorrow on a Football Friday. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
Encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon